Hello.
Alright, are you all set to go? Oh my gosh! Nice! I see your stream, it looks so good. I'm almost there.
Thanks. Need to adjust the sound levels. The totally legal and legitimate version of Pokemon that I'm using is very loud. I want to
Oh,
make sure
I
that
see.
it
I see you're going with the English version. Feels that
doesn't. So I did encounter one issue with my little picture setup there. It
What was the
works.
issue?
It works fine with Bulbasaur. Works great with Ivysaur. Works fine with Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, and then doesn't work perfectly for Charizard because he's got these other forms at the bottom that
Oh.
make the picture off-center. So it's not going to be perfect for every Pokemon.
Well, I was gonna say, who doesn't know what Charizard looks like? Okay. I'm almost ready. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So I wanted to take the picture of that you took of Thrall, your character, Bane, and my character, and that's just going to be the whole stream. But then I got super distracted clearing out some of the pins because I didn't pin that one, of course, and I pinned all this other stuff that I was like, I seem to forget that there's a pin limit on Discord. Okay, I think I was gonna put music on mine, but
You could probably find like a Pokemon playlist as long as you're not planning to save the VOD or upload it anywhere.
I don't think so. Yeah, because the call audio isn't even gonna be on on mine, so I don't plan on saving the VOD.
Ah. So you're pulling out the dinosaur version? Oh, the original red? Yeah, so a sort of side thing that's going on here. I'm going to be playing through Pokemon Red while we talk, just to have some kind of visual thing going on. But after this, some days I am going to stream Pokemon, and I'm going to eventually play through the whole series again on stream.
Hype. All the hype. Okay, I am good to go.
All right. See if I can remember the. There we go. I might need to turn Pokemon down a little bit more. It's so loud.
How is it on stream though? Because I know a lot of times when I play, like the game music is just like blaring in my headphones, and people in chat are like, I can't hear you, or I can't hear the game.
Looking at the audio levels, it's actually probably a little quiet on stream, but I wanted to make sure it was louder than you.
Oh, okay.
But it's so loud and... Oh god! Double-clicking maximizes the totally legitimate version that I'm using, so I need to not double-click.
Oh, I just saw that. Oh, that's funny. We're good. We're good. We got this. What are you going to name yourself and your rival? The most important part of any playthrough.
I always go with the version names, so, well, on the older versions I always went with the version names. Lately I've been going with Flare because there's like actual online interactions, and I want people to be able to tell that it's me.
Oh.
But I usually like, this will be red and my rival will be blue.
This will be red. Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah. And when I get to Gen 2 with Houndoom, I always name my Houndoom Red. So, it'll have to be, I think I'll go with Crystal for that one. But, rating Pokemon.
Alright.
Would you like to go first, since you are a fan of this one?
I have very strong opinions on this one, and we kind of talked about it already, but like Bulbasaur, S+. My reasoning for that, Pokemon Yellow, it made it so easy. It was like OP for the first. I thought it was just for the first two. I remember you saying for like the first, what, 4 or 5?
Yeah,
Um, so
well, you go ahead.
oh, that's all I was gonna say. Like best starter, grass type, best, Gen 1, best, S plus.
Um, I do like Bulbasaur because it is super effective against the first two gym leaders, and then being grass type, it's resistant against the third one because he's electric. And then the fourth one is grass with a lot of poison, but since Bulbasaur is also part poison type, it's immune to being poisoned, so it's still very good against that one too. It's only the fifth gym leader, who is Sabrina, who's psychic. That's the first time that Bulbasaur is actually at a type disadvantage.
That's right, because Psychic is strong against poison. And I remember struggling with Sabrina, like, because my team in Pokemon Yellow, unfortunately, would usually be like Pikachu, Alakazam, Raticate, and whatever other random ones. Clearly not great for Sabrina.
Yeah.
But Flair, would you like to admit on stream for everyone watching what your rating is? I'm not bitter at all. Hashtag not bitter.
Yeah, my rating for Bulbasaur, and this is going to be a trend for a lot of starters, is just a B. I'm just not really a fan of starters in general. I don't have any problem with them, but I just don't find them as interesting as a lot of other Pokemon. So sadly, Bulbasaur gets a B for me.
And we're done with the stream. That's it. No.
That's it. Stream over. Bulbasaur.
We're no longer friends. No more WoW time. Just the disagreement is real. No. Wait, I think on the next one, Ivysaur, I think we're gonna agree here because I'm not a fan. I think I'd give it a C.
Yeah, Ivysaur is definitely that awkward in between phase between the cute starter and the cool final evolution. But I don't dislike him because I like the bulb on his back. I like the closed tulip-like flower. So I still give him a B.
Say mine? See? I'm like listening to you more than me. I'm like, did I even say that? Yeah, so I think we actually kind of went the other way with this one. You actually are more okay with Ivysaur than I
am. Yeah.
I was, yeah, and I guess whenever I would play the games, I would, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but I kept Bulbasaur up until, I want to say 35. Like, I didn't let it evolve. 35 to 36, I kept Ivysaur, and then as soon as we hit 36, Venusaur. Who I give an A, beefy boy. Not quite S tier, just because it is, like, third evolution is never, like, cute, quote unquote, but it's Venusaur. It's so badass.
Yeah, I still sticking with B. He's honestly, I feel like his flower, the petals are weird to me. They're like weird square-shaped petals. They don't look like actual. I'm about to lose to my rival. Wow.
Uh-oh.
I'm very good at this game, you guys.
B use tackle. Did you name your Pokemon B?
Yeah, because we gave Bulbasaur a B rating. So I named it B. Or I gave Bulbasaur a B rating. So
it's like a dad joke on multi-level. Oh, boo. But, so nothing happens when you lose? Or does it affect, is it only in yellow where it affects later decision trees?
I think it only affects things in yellow. In this one, it's just you don't get the XP for beating your rival.
Oh, and there's no money on the line, right?
Actually, he may give you a little bit of money too, but I don't think he takes any of your money because you don't actually white out.
Okay. Okay.
Look at your money. Yeah, he doesn't take any of your money.
it's in the newer games that you can't lose it. I tried very hard when I played Sword Shield to lose the first rival battle, but the game straight up doesn't let you. But in
Oh, wow.
in the more savage, no, I'm just kidding. In like the less handholdy earlier gens, you can definitely lose, which I definitely did the first few times I played.
Yeah, I should have just used my potion to win the fight, but it doesn't really matter. Um,
Potion. So okay, so next is the starter that was left on the table during this playthrough. Aw.
oh no no
Squirtle.
no Charmander's next.
I made this mistake earlier. Oh my gosh.
Charmander's number 4. Squirtle is number 8. 8?
7.
4, 5, 7. Yes, I am good at math.
Okay, Charmander, not Squirtle. I give this one a C. I think Charmander is very overrated. Like, it's cute, obviously, and I like Charmander in the original anime, but C purely because overrated.
Yeah, I never really watched the anime very much. I never felt that Charmander was overrated until Sword and Shield, where it was like all about, oh yeah, you know, the champion's Pokemon is Charizard, and you get a special Charmander at the end, and I was just like, I don't care though, because it's Charmander.
You get a special Charmander at the end? Did I miss this?
Yeah, after you beat Leon, after you become the champion, if you go back to Leon's house, to his room, there's a present on the floor that he left you, and it's a Gigantamax Charmander. When you evolve it to Charizard, it'll have the Gigantamax thing instead of just being big when you Supermax it.
I 200% missed this. Okay.
You didn't know that? You people need to explore the game more. That was like, as soon as I came back, I was like, I'm gonna go to Leon's house, see if he's there. And there was the present for me.
I didn't. Okay, so when you say like come back, that's after the whole stuff with the sword, shield, doggos, and all that.
Yeah, so before Sword Word and Shield Bert, but after you beat Leon, after you've done the Doggos thing and caught the Eternatus and you know, done the whole championship thing, it has you wake back up in your house like it always does, and then you can just walk to Leon's house.
Because Leon is your neighbor?
Yes, because Leon and... What's your rival's name? I forgot his name. Purple-haired kid?
Not BB. I remember I don't remember.
He and Leon are brothers, and it's his house. Hop, that's it, yeah, Hop. It's their house that you go over to in Leon's room.
Okay.
Back on
so
the...
you said,
Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, you said you get a Charmander, but you can evolve it.
Yeah, it's a special Charmander, so it's like a level 5 Charmander, just like you got it as a starter. But when you get it to Charizard, if you Supermax it or whatever they called it, it has the special Gigantamax form instead of just being bigger like a normal Pokemon is.
Okay. Yeah, like you were about to say, moving on to the next one, evolved Charmander, Charmeleon. I actually have my sheet pulled up. I gave Charmeleon an F, apparently. I guess I was very angry when I put this together. Yeah, because I said overrated and mean. If I'm remembering the anime correctly, as soon as Charmander evolved, it became like kind of like mean, like angsty teen, and like wouldn't listen to Ash and stuff. And so apparently I gave it an F. I will go as high as a C minus. So C minus to F, depending on how angry I am.
I think it's still B for me. I actually don't still have the thing up. I should pull that back up. Pokemon tier list. Oh yeah, I B's all the way through, except for one of them. It's just... I didn't really say this for Charmander, but it's true. They're just very plain. It's just a lizard with a fire tail, and for when Pokemon first started out, that was pretty cool. But like at this point, it doesn't really stand out among Pokemon to me. So I give him a B. And then Charizard, who is slightly off center, and I can't scroll it better. I'm sorry.
Like, who watching doesn't know what a Charizard is?
Yeah, you can still see most of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Charizard, I gave another F. And I'm going to stick with this one just because extremely overrated. I remember when Sword Shield came out, this was the only Gen 1 starter in it, right? And it was like, of course it is, because...
Yeah.
Although I did like, you know, in Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back, the Pikachu's Vacation mini-movie at the beginning, I did like how, like, chill and, like, relaxed and lazy and grumpy Charizard was. So maybe that bumps him up to a D-. But otherwise, D- F, like, overrated.
Yeah. My biggest complaint about Charizard is he's very obviously a dragon, and he's not dragon type. Like, they have a type in the game called dragon type. Charizard is a dragon. He's got the wings, he breathes fire, he's lizard-like, he is a dragon. And he's not dragon type. And I'm just like, how could you do that to us? I was so disappointed as a kid.
He's more dragon type than some of the others, I feel like.
Yeah.
Not that I can name any off the top of my head, of course, but...
Druddigon leaps to mind as a horrendous dragon type that I believe I gave an F to, but we'll get to that one. But I gave Charizard a B. He is overrated, and he's not a dragon type, but overall I do like him. At least somewhat. So, he's a B for me.
Like you and Coma agree on your ratings.
So the B+ on my list for versatility. We're going off looks or usefulness. I'm mostly going off, like, design, but usefulness too.
Vibe. General feeling towards.
Basically, yeah. I didn't buy Pokeballs. What am I doing?
Wait, that means you have to go back to the store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, actual Squirtle this time, right? Right?
Yes. Actually, Squirtle.
So I gave Squirtle an A just because not quite S tier, like, but I do like water types. I do like, I don't know, he's a little turtle and he's got like a bit of an attitude in the anime. Solid A, maybe A-.
Yeah, I give him a B. Again, he's, all the starters, they're just Bs. He's not bad, but he doesn't really stand out for me. His tail's weird. I've always thought his tail is weird.
Oh, the spirally thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there.
Wartortle gets even more spirally, right? Like his ears and his tail and...
Yeah, which does alter my rating. And not for the better.
No. Yeah, I gave Wartortle a B. I don't think I like the middle evolutions of any starter. But I gave him a B just because, like, he's an awkward teen phase.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. And I gave him a C. He's the only Gen 1 starter that goes down to a C for me. Because more weird tail, He looks like a Mario enemy, for one thing. But he doesn't look like Squirtle and Blastoise. Like, I could see him as an evolution from Squirtle into something else, but he doesn't match Blastoise at all. Like, nothing about him matches Blastoise except it's an upright turtle. And
Does Blastoise still have the tail?
No, well, I think Blastoise has just like a regular turtle tail.
Oh, no more curlies.
Yeah, So I could see Squirtle evolving into Blastoise with a different middle evolution, or I could see Wartortle evolving into something else. But Wartortle just doesn't match Blastoise at all to me. He's a squirrel turtle. Yeah, that's true. It's a squirrel tail.
So Blastoise I would give an A, just because. I guess it's like a bit of a hassle to post the GIF on stream, but it's he's pretty cool. I like the water cannons, pretty powerful. A, solid A. Oh yeah, no more curlies. That's another thing contributing to the A.
Yeah, he gets rid of the curly tail. He looks like he's back up to a B for me because he looks a lot more like he doesn't have the weird tail. He looks like a beefy, tanky Pokemon, and I like that.
Agreed.
I also like his Mega Evolution with the giant cannon. I find that hilarious. He gets the 2 arm cannons and then giant cannon on his back. And then I don't even know what's going on for Gigantamax. He's got like a volcano on his back for some reason.
He turns into fire type.
But yeah, he's still a beef. Oh no, actually I gave him a B. I was looking at your ratings, not mine. It's like, oh, I gave him an A. No.
Definitely read mine when you get to Psyduck. No, I'm just kidding.
Up next we have Caterpie. I was
D.
I was not kind to these.
D. Almost an F. Yeah. Oh, you're almost here in the game, but like Viridian Forest, Caterpie. Again, maybe it was just because I was bad at the game when I first got it, but you fight so many Caterpies, and Bug is good against grass, right? That's the other thing. I had a Bulbasaur, so.
Bug is good against grass, but they don't have any bug type moves. I think there was only one damaging bug type move in the game at this point.
In the whole game, or like in Viridian Forest?
In the whole game. I think Twin Needle was the only damaging bug type attack. Technically, I think Mega Horn was bug, but it wasn't a damage ability, it was just a one-hit KO. So I think Twin Needle was the only damaging bug type attack.
I'm watching your playthrough and I'm wondering, wait, what are you doing?
Oh, there's a potion there. There's 3 free potions you can get before Viridian Forest.
Magic! Claire with the hacks! Oh my gosh!
But yeah, I give Caterpie a C. Yes, Nidoran Mail. I give Caterpie a C because he's boring and has no redeeming qualities. I don't hate him. I don't think he's ugly, but he's just a caterpillar with a weird, apparently stinky red antenna. Because all his Pokedex is like, the red antenna emits a foul odor.
Up until I was 8 years old when I learned that was antenna, not eyebrows.
Not what?
Eyebrows.
Oh. Oh, like he has angry eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just some weird antenna sticking out of his head.
Does Metapod have the antenna too? Antenna/eyebrows?
No, but he has an eyelid, and for years when I played Pokemon, I thought that, see how he's got that like kind of triangle sticking out of his back? I thought that was like a nose, like he was a man in the moon. So I thought he was this angry, big-nosed crescent. And it made no sense to me. But
oh, I'm so confused. Mind blown. Yeah, I always thought the pointy bit was the nose.
no, his face is the other way. It's the front, with all the like geometric shapes. Because it's not actually, if you see him from behind, let me see if I can scroll down to where we can see him from behind. Or actually, no, I can't get that on screen. Oh yeah, okay, so you see here, it's actually 2 triangles that are like, I think they're supposed to be like the wing growths that he's starting to develop the Butterfree wings. So it's 2 little triangles sticking out of his back. He's got like a diamond-shaped head.
change my rating now? D minus. I originally had a D. Now I'm gonna make it a D minus because I kind of like thinking it was a face, but now it just makes too much sense. But this is also another one where in Viridian Forest, like I don't think the wild metapods had any attacks, right? So they would just sit there and harden, and it would be such a waste of time.
They were, but they couldn't hurt you, so they were free XP every time you encountered one. So I actually liked fighting them and Kakunas.
In red, is there Caterpie or Weedle?
Both are in both versions, but it is more Weedles and Kakunas than Caterpies and Metapods. So in blue, Caterpie and Metapod are the most common. In red, Weedle and Kakuna are the most common.
Okay.
Metapod looks like a stoner. Yeah, with his slanted eyelid like that. He looks very, very like tired and dopey. I ended up giving him a C. Because again, there's nothing particularly special or standout about him.
For Butterfree, I apparently gave a D. I don't like Butterfree either, apparently. It's another one that's like really overrated. I know the episode with Ash's Butterfree, like I feel like it's a very popular episode, so contrarian over here, giving it a D.
I think I gave Butterfree a B because I like the wing pattern. I like black and white, so I like the black and white wings. Though I still maintain I don't care what any official statement Nintendo ever releases. This was clearly supposed to be the evolution of Venonat, and Venomoth was supposed to be the evolution of Metapod and Caterpie, and I don't understand why they got switched.
So, Venonat would have been... Or no, Venomoth would have been Caterpie, Metapod, Venomoth, and then Venonat, Butterfree?
Yeah. Because, like... Here, let me pull up
I can see it in the eyes. Yeah.
Like, it's got the same antenna shape, it's got the same eyes, a very similar mouth, the same hands. Like...
We see the eyes, yeah.
They're so similar. And then Venomoth, if you look at... Going back to Metapod, it's got like a 3-horn shape on its head, which fits the kind of 3 horns that Metapod has going. It doesn't really... It's sort of... No, it doesn't really have any other similarities, but like, it looks nothing like a Venonat. It's not even the same shade of color. So, I don't know. That always bothers me.
Did Nintendo release a statement? You mentioned that earlier.
I think I heard something about Nintendo saying no, Caterpie was always supposed to evolve into Butterfree or something like that. But not like as an official Nintendo announces this, but like during some kind of like panel or something, someone asked that question and they were like, no, it was always supposed to be the way it is.
Taking the mistake and running with it. No, just kidding.
I do like Gigantamax Butterfree. I like the giant wings. But,
no familiarity with any of the Gigantamax forms, other than Pikachu, Snorlax, and the one that becomes a skyscraper.
Oh yeah, Duraludon, I think.
Yeah, it's like white and silver, right?
Yeah.
Next up is Weedle, who apparently I gave a D. I was not happy when I did this. I put Weedle as a G Caterpie. Not untrue, but I'll go C instead of D. I mean, I don't think Weedle deserves D level hate, but it's nothing special either.
See, I literally just went in and changed my rating to D, getting a closer look at Weedle. Because I was at C before, and I changed it to D. for multiple reasons. One, as a mostly red version player, Weedle's first move that it knows is Poison Sting. Half the Pokemon you encounter in Viridian Forest are Weedles that use Poison Sting. So about every 2 or 3 encounters, get ready to run back to the Pokemon Center because you got poisoned.
Are there antidotes at the Poké store?
If you are willing to pay like $150, well, Poké dollars, for every single time you get poisoned, yes. It's not worth it.
Oh, like you said, if they're that frequent, yeah.
And also just looking at its design, I don't like centipedes, and it's very much a centipede. Like it doesn't have the long legs like a centipede, but it's got way too many legs, and I don't like it.
Weedle turns into Kakuna, which I'm also going to revise my rating. I'm going to say C. It's another cocoon. I did not mistake this one for a face, though, so there's that. It's another cocoon. C.
Yeah, I kind of like the shape of the front of the chrysalis. Looks like two blade hands that are like next to each other. Like each of this is kind of an arm, and then that's the blade, kind of like a scyther arm. I like that shape, but to be honest, he's still a C. He's a cocoon. I don't understand how he moves or fights.
He kind of just floats.
Like no.
That's what I thought. Agreed. Yeah, Kakuna just kind of like floats and uses Harden, right? Just like Metapod.
Yeah.
Kakuna turns into Beedrill, who I also gave a D, apparently. Okay, here's my dilemma. I like B's. This is a bit too try-hard for me, so I think I'm going to stick with maybe D+. C-, C+.
You don't want to give him a B?
I'm hanging up. End of stream. We didn't even make it to... We made it through 15. We're good.
I like Beedrill. I like his drill arms. I like the move Twin Needle, and I think he was the only Pokemon that learned it at like level 40 or something. And dear God, if you're still using a Beedrill at level 40, God help you. But I don't know. I liked his design. I like the drill arms and the giant stinger, and the fact that he's like a 4-foot tall bee.
4 feet tall? Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, he's really tall. Let me see. His height is... Oh, he's 3 feet tall. No, wait. No. Omega Beedrill is 4 feet tall. Regular Beedrill is 3 feet tall. Yes, he
3
is.
feet?
He is entirely too big. And I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with D+ then, because that's terrifying. Okay, and then after Beedrill, we get into Pidgey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pidgey, I'm so mean. Oh my gosh. Apparently I gave Pidgey a D, and I said the Zubat of open air, which is not untrue. I think I'm going to amend this to a C. It's a pigeon. It's the cute, like, first one. There's a lot of them, but it's harmless.
Yeah, it's a bird. That's all I've got to say for it is it's a bird. I'm not really impressed by it, so I gave it a C. And then Pidgeotto, same thing. It's a bird. It's got a colorful tail. Kind of. 2-colored tail.
I really dislike Pidgeotto because I would catch a Pidgey and I'd want the Pidgeot, and you would have to have Pidgeotto forever. And kind of to your point, like, once you get to, I want to say 36, for Pidgeot, like, why are you still using a Pidgeot? So you're just stuck with a Pidgeotto forever. D.
Yeah. And then Pidgeot, is a bird. It's
C.
still a bird. My commentary for this was Pidgey, it's a bird. Pidgeotto, it's a plane. Pidgeot. No wait, it's a bird. It just like there's some art I've seen of Pidgeot that makes it look cool, but like by itself, it's just a bigger Pidgey with long hair.
Oh, the long hair and the tail. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bigger Pidgey, prettier Pidgey.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is the one you're fighting right now. How
Yes.
convenient. Rattata, I gave a D. I put the Zubat of open grass. Also not untrue. Sorry, Rattata.
Yeah, that is fair. I gave him a C, but he's like the top percentile of C.
So a C plus.
No, it's a joke because in Gen 2, there's a trainer Joey, has a Rattata, and whenever he calls you, he tells you that his Rattata is in the top percentile of Rattata. And it became a meme.
She's proud.
Do we want to rate like the Alolan form as well?
I have to Google it. Oh, C minus.
Yeah, it's just a black Rattata with like messier fur, and then that weird mustache going on. I'm not super impressed. I'm keeping it a C.
Is there an Alola Raticate? It would
Yes.
make sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, so okay.
It's not great.
Oh, Raticate, I give a B because, like I said, when I played Yellow, I always had Eradicate, and Hyper Fang was like more powerful than I realized. I probably shouldn't have been using Eradicate against the Elite Four, but okay, I still won. I don't know what. Okay, so you said Alola. Ugh, F.
It's Faticate, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, F. Maybe F. What about you?
I'm not a fan of Raticate because I don't like his mouth. I don't like that he can't close it because his teeth are so huge. I mean, I guess maybe he can close it. There's certainly a picture of him closing it. But like, I don't like looking at his teeth like that makes my teeth hurt. And then Faticate is just a fat Raticate. Like no redeeming qualities whatsoever. They're both D's for me.
Fair. I think I give a D to the next one. The next 4, apparently. Okay, I should redo this because apparently I was feeling really mean. But I will stand by D for Spearow. It's like a Pidgey, but mean, slightly harder to catch, equally as useless. B.
Yeah, I gave it a C because it's an angry Pidgey. Like, it's still just a bird. Those are in-game only? Oh, Dragonite and Charizard, I see. And then Fearow, I don't like the neck elbow, the neck joint that it has going on. So, also a C.
Not unsee.
Yeah,
Also
like,
a
and
D.
I thought, oh, that's probably just that one picture. No, like, every picture of Fearow, it has that weird neck joint. I don't like it.
D. Solid D.
Yeah, so there are a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon that are just animal but cartoon.
Exactly. Yeah, which makes sense for like the first generation, but still. Yeah, like I would like to revise mine. I do Year the Snake and all that. Like, I will revise it to a C. Not a fan of the color. Because I think if I saw a purple snake IRL, I would freak out. I would be like, that is so venomous. Like, stay away from it.
It has
But it is
so much poison.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it is a snake, so I will say C.
Yeah, I gave it a C. Same reason as Pigeon Spiro. It's snake. It's a snake. There's nothing. The name is snake spelled backwards, so they couldn't even really be imaginative with that.
That's right.
And then Arbok continues to be a snake, but with a face.
Same rating, maybe like C minus, because this is like the edgier version. I will say like Arbok and Weezing, James and Jesse's Pokemon, like they were just, following orders. They probably get a bad rap from that, but still a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the pattern on its hood had been better, I think maybe I would have liked it. But it just looks so goofy to me. It's supposed to be like an angry, evil face, but it just looks goofy to me.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah.
And then we have
this next one, 25. Yeah, I recuse myself.
everyone's favorite Pokemon, the mascot itself, that almost everyone I talk to is so sick of seeing everywhere. There are a million versions, and the only good one is Gigantamax Fat Pikachu. I give it a B, because I don't hate Pikachu itself, I'm just so tired of it being the one and only mascot. In a game that is supposed to be about hundreds of Pokemon and choosing your favorites, they still just are like, Pikachu everywhere, Pikachu for everything, always Pikachu.
I will say, when Pokemon Go came out, you know how like everyone got the app, right? Like even like people who had never heard of Pokemon before. So that included my coworkers at the time, who their whole thing was like Pokemon is something my kids play, right? And one of my coworkers, like, they were getting into it, good for them. And she was like, this app is really fun, but I still think like, oh, Pikachu is the best Pokemon. Don't at me. And I had to I stood there and I had to stop myself from being like, can you name any other Pokemon? I was just like, yeah. And I was like, don't say it, don't say it. But I think that encapsulates my non-rating. I'm not going to give it a rating.
Yeah, that's fair. Raichu, on the other hand, this is an S tier for me. I love Raichu. I always use Raichu. I always evolve my Pikachu as soon as I can. And I always use Raichu. I also adore Alolan Raichu, which is like a soft Raichu. I just want to hug it. It's so cute.
Oh, Alolan Raichu is cute. Yeah, I would say A+. I always like Raichu better than Pikachu as well. And of course in Yellow you can't evolve your Pikachu, and I was always salty about that.
Yeah, when I was thinking about playing through all the Pokemon games, I was like, oh yeah, I should just play like the middle game, because there's always Red, Blue, and then Yellow, Gold, Silver, and then Crystal. I should always play through the middle one. And I was like, I can't evolve my Pikachu in Yellow, and you can't acquire Pikachu anywhere. Like, Pikachu doesn't appear in the wild in Yellow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'll play Red so I can have my Raichu, please. Please and thank you.
Is that the first one we've agreed on that wasn't like a middle of the road C? I think it might be.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, and then 27, Sandshrew.
Yep.
B minus C, nothing special here.
Yeah, I gave him a B because I think he's really cute, and I said something. Oh yeah, I said points for cute. So yeah, I gave him a B because I think he's really cute. He looks like. I don't think he would be. I want to hug him not because I think he'd be soft, because I think his skin is all like rock hard or whatever, but just because he can curl into a ball, and I think he'd be fun to carry around.
like a bowling ball?
Well, just like in my arms, just holding him like all curled up in my arms would be very cute. Bulbapedia is calling him a mouse Pokemon. He's definitely a shrew. Thank you very much. It's in his name.
Isn't Pikachu the mouse Pokemon? Like, hello? Or
Yeah.
ta.
Also, the Alolan one, I like that it's ice type, but I don't like the like weird head thing going on.
The boost Sandshrew. I give it a. What did you give it originally? It's probably B minus as well. It's kind of funny, but once you get past like the initial LOLs, it's an ice Sandshrew.
Yeah. And then Sandslash, I gave it a B. I like what it's based on, Pangolin, and I like the spiky back.
Not the same. Yeah, I'd say B minus just because it is. I remember liking it better than Sandshrew because it's more powerful, obviously, but I don't think it was ever like part of my team. Can I ask, are you staying in that area to just level up your Pokemon or trying to catch more?
I'm trying to catch a Nidoran female. They are very rare. They're like a 5 or 10% chance of showing up.
And you have to be in that little area?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I mean, it is a way to look, because I caught this Nidoran at level 2, so it would be nice if he would level up at some point. I've fought like 6 Pokemon now.
Do you, in red, is there a chance of catching a Mankey over there?
No, that is only in yellow version. That was to make Brock more doable, because you couldn't have a Bulbasaur or a Squirtle to start with. And even Charmander gets Ember, I think, which means you can burn the Onix. So that's damage over time. But yeah, yellow was pretty screwed against Brock.
Is fire effective against rock? Is it like 1x, 0.5x?
It's 0.5x. It's not very effective, and in fact,
Okay.
it would be 1/4 damage because the Onix is rock ground and both are resistant to fire.
Oh.
But you can just spam Ember. You can use Pidgey to lower his accuracy with Sand Attack, so he can't hit anything, and then burn him with Ember, so that he actually gets the burn effect and takes damage over time, and that reduces the damage he deals. And then you can just sit there until he dies.
Okay, yeah, so there is a way forward with red. I guess with yellow, you either catch the Mankey or like level your Pikachu up to as much as possible and then tackle, and even then it's a gamble.
Yeah. Oh, there's also a Alolan Sandslash, which he's got bigger spikes but a lot fewer ones. I don't know how I feel about it. He's still definitely a B.
B minus, C plus kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not as good, I think. I still like that he's ice type, but I just think he's not as good. Now we get into some of my favorites.
Say.
Well, I say some of my favorites. I gave this one a C, but
I think, yeah, I'll just I guess preview. I gave all of these C's. I never saw the appeal because they're purely poison. Is that right?
Purely poison until the final evolution, and the final evolution is poison ground.
And ground. Oh, okay. You know what it was? I think I gave these a C just because, like, you have to use Moonstone to get to final evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could never get enough Moonstones. I think that was by design, but my statement still stands. So C.
I gave it a C because it's cute but very generic, and like it's kind of like a rabbit rat, which is not an interesting combination of animals. It just leads you to kind of a small-eared rabbit, as you're with like really boring, like it doesn't have rabbit legs. It's cute but doesn't have really anything going for it. And then like most of the starters, Here's your awkward teen phase. Nidorina I gave a C as well because it's just... It doesn't really look like anything. It's just a Nidoran female that decided to stand up.
And I was always stuck on this one because no moonstone. So yeah, C.
And then Nidoqueen got a D because it doesn't need boobs, but they gave it to her anyway. I don't like that they do that. It was so not necessary. If they had just if they this exact same design but without the addition of the chest pieces, I'd like it. I'd give it a B. But why? Why?
You know, as a dumb, naive kid / adult, I didn't even realize it till you pointed it out. C minus.
It's also called a drill Pokemon, which makes no sense because it doesn't have... Like, it has spikes, but it doesn't have, like, a horn or anything to drill with. I don't know, maybe Bulbapedia is
right?
wrong with this.
Oh. Yeah, because Nidoran male and who turns into Nidoking. Nidoking has the spike, right? Or the spike to be a drill?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can already see the baby one. I
Yeah.
give this one a C, but still.
Yes.
It's a spike.
C as well for me. It's the same as Nidoran female. He's not really... He's more rabbity than Nidoran female, but he's still like... He's cute, but that's all he's really got going for him. And then here's awkward teen phase, where it's a Nidorino, but he's standing up more.
Exact same. Yeah, C. I would always get stuck on this one.
But then we get to my second S tier. I love Nidoking. The sound he makes in game. I love his big, beefy shape. He's so powerful. And you can get him before even getting to Misty, because you can get a Moonstone in Mount Moon. So he is extremely powerful early on. And he never really falls off. You can teach him Surf. You can teach him Thunderbolt, I think. Like, he's got a wide variety of TMs he can learn. You can teach him Earthquake, which he gets the stab bonus for being ground type. He's just really strong, and I like him a lot. Poison is pretty useless. Well, you know, we all have our opinions.
I was just gonna say, Coma, I know you're on a 10-minute delay, but did you hear what Blair just said? Like, Nidoking isn't limited. That shouldn't change in the later gens, right?
No, he in fact gets even more utility, but since all Pokemon kind of they open up the moves that they can learn and everything, he gets more utility, but it's no longer special that he has so much utility. So he's still good, but there's plenty of other options if you're not a fan.
Okay. And then after Nidoking, Clefairy. I gave it a D because I'm just handing out low tiers.
I gave it a C. I'm kind of leaning towards D now. It's not even the kind of cute that I like. It's the really obnoxious kind of cute. I just don't really like it.
So I tried to be a completionist in Yellow, and these things were really hard to catch in Mount Moon. I think that was also part of it. And then the whole no a shortage of moonstones, like D, D plus.
Yeah. And then Clefable is just a taller Clefairy. I gave that a D. It's super unimaginative. It's not even as cute anymore.
Agree. Also a D.
The only thing that it's got is metronome, and I loved metronome as a kid. I hate metronome now. I don't like metronome. Um, Vulpix, on the other hand, I gave an A. I think Vulpix is very, very cute, and Alolan Vulpix is just as cute.
Um, Sorry, on my stream, I'm being told that it might be TOS. Okay, I gotta figure something out. Vulpix, what did I get? B? No. B! Look at that! Yeah, I would say B for Vulpix, and then probably a B minus C plus for Alolan. My best friend in elementary school was obsessed with Vulpix, so like honorary B plus.
I don't know if it is because you're not technically AFK.
I guess because I don't have the audio over there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you could put the audio over there just to avoid that issue.
I'm currently on my phone, so it would
Oh,
have to I'd have to rejigger it. I've got something I'll pull up.
okay. Whoops, my Spearow might faint. Oh no, we're good.
Ninetales, I would say B as well. Same thing, like my friend loved Ninetales, and I was just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Ninetales, ha.
Yeah, I gave it a B. It loses the cuteness of Vulpix, but it's not a bad design. Really, it's the B because of Alolan Ninetales, which I really like the design of. So average, like I would give regular Ninetales a C, and Alolan Ninetales an A. So the average between them, it's a B.
Okay. Alolan is also ice type?
Ice Fairy type.
Ice fairy. Oh, that's confusing. Okay. And, Coma is biased. Although I will say you and Coma seem to agree on a lot of yours.
Yeah.
Jigglypuff, like, I'm like trying to guess mine now because I have too many things up on my monitor. B. Okay, B. Yeah.
I think I gave this one a C. Yeah, Jigglypuff. I don't really like its eyes, and it's Clefairy. Jigglypuff and Clefairy. There's no differences between the two gameplay-wise for me. Flair's voting rival. Like they're both pink Pokemon with big ears who you sing on you early game and use metronome on you late game. They both have an evolution which is just a bigger version of them with a slightly different shade of pink, and they evolve with the Moonstone. They're just the same Pokemon.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I know Jigglypuff is a little bit more mainstream, right? Because of Jigglypuff is an E. There's some disagreement. I know that Jigglypuff is a little bit more mainstream, right? And the artist who did my Pikachu paintings also did one with Jigglypuff and a bunch of booties. So I have like some appreciation for that, but I'm like, I think it's more appreciation for the painting than Jigglypuff, so B.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is I do like Jigglypuff in the anime. How it sings, people fall asleep, and then it gets angry and draws all over their faces.
Just like every college party ever.
From my little rant about Jigglypuff, you can probably guess how I feel about Wigglytuff. That is also a C. It is just a Jigglypuff that someone stretched vertically.
Yeah, Wigglytuff, I would say, yeah, C. On to the next one, everyone's favorite. Zubat. No, thank you, please. D.
Yeah, what did I give it? I gave it a D2 for the exact same reason. Just too damn many Zubats.
There have... Are Zubat flying poison or full poison? Either way, there was always that chance of getting poisoned, right? So.
They are flying poison, but they didn't know a poison type move.
Oh.
So they couldn't poison you. And in fact, I don't think Zubat ever learns a poison type move. I don't think in any generation. Oh no, I think it eventually learns Poison Fang. Yeah, in some whatever generation they introduced Poison Fang. I think that was the first time it actually got a poison type move that did damage.
But not in general. Okay.
Yeah, Leech Life. That was the only other move that did that was bug type that did damage. Leech Life and Twin Needle. But the only Pokemon that learned Leech Life weren't bug type except like Parasect, I think.
That's confusing.
Zubat was the first Pokemon you encounter that learns Leech Life, and it's poison flying.
That's confusing. D minus.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently that's what I gave Golbat. D minus. D minus. D minus for both.
Oh, sorry about that. People driving 3 times the speed limit behind my apartment. I gave it a D. I don't like its mouth. Once again, it can't close its mouth. Its body is its mouth. I don't like it. Too much mouth.
Agreed.
We don't get to see Crobat yet, sadly. On to Oddish.
A. I always like this one. It's like really cute and derpy. And again, grass, so I'm bonus points for that.
I gave it a B. I like it. It's uh-oh. Okay, there we go.
It's a close fight.
Yeah, it's not quite a B+. Uh-oh. Oh no, I resized the window. Okay. It's not quite a B+, but I still like Oddish. I prefer Oddish to Bellsprout for sure.
Agreed on that one for sure.
I also prefer Oddish to Gloom.
Gloom gets kind of ugly. B minus, I think. I think I'm gonna demote him down to a C. Yeah, the drool is just like, do you need a tissue? Can I offer you one?
Yeah, like if it weren't for the drool, I would probably give it a B because I like the curling leaves as hair. I think that's well done. But I don't like the drool. It's gross.
Vileplume stops drooling though, right?
Yes. Yeah, I actually like Vileplume a lot. I gave it an A. It's a fairly simple design, but and I never really liked Vileplume until we got to the 3D Pokemon. And then seeing a 3D Vileplume, I just really liked it. It just seemed really nicely designed. So
He has arms now.
Yes. I like Vileplume a lot.
Oh wait, is Coleman's F for Gloom or Vileplume?
I think that was for Gloom, because that was before we pulled up Vileplume.
Okay, I can get behind that. Yeah, Vileplume, B+. Yeah. Next up is Paris. Oh, we had disagreed on this one.
Yeah.
5%, C minus.
I gave Paris an A. Yes, A. It's I like bug Pokemon, and this is like everything that I like about bug Pokemon. It's that kind of like ugly cute, and I like the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, the compact shape of it with the big claws. I don't know. I like it. The concept of it is horrifying, but I like the design a lot.
Yeah, I think C minus. I think I'm stuck on concept.
Which of course, when we get to Parasect, that just only gets worse.
Also a C minus. It is. I think. Okay, how big is Parasect?
3 feet tall.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Sorry, had to sneeze.
Oh wait. Oh no, you're good.
I gave Parasect an A. It's a very like bulky tank shape, and I like that a lot. The one thing I don't like about it is the bug part of it is very clearly dead, and it's a mushroom manipulating a corpse to move around and do things, which continues to be horrifying. But I like the design a lot.
Yeah, I again wouldn't have realized that until now. So C minus.
I think that canonically it's not actually dead, but it's like there's no way that bug is still alive.
Oh, like how canonically the caterpillar is not controlling the ancient.
Yes, well, canonically the mushroom is controlling the bug. The insect has been drained of nutrients and is now under control of the mushroom. Removing the mushroom causes it to stop moving.
My gosh.
But I'm pretty sure the bug part is dead, and it's just the mushroom controlling it.
On to the next one.
Yes. Hello, I'm Joey
okay.
Thumbs. How's it going? Thanks for the follow.
Joey's here. Okay. Yeah, Joey is a friend of Luna's who is Mrs. Commander. We run in the same circles, kind of.
Okay.
In very wide circles. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Venonat. Oh, hey, full circle. C minus.
Yeah, I gave it a C too. It's cute and fluffy, but the evolutions bother me.
It's fluffy. I don't know about cute.
Yeah, this is red version.
English red version.
Yes, English red
Hashtag
version.
not better. Venomoth, yeah, same thing. C minus. I don't like moths IRL, and this loses like the poofiness of Venonat, so C minus.
I gave it a B. I like the size of the wings and the shape of the head, but it doesn't get any higher than that because I still feel it. There was an evolution mix up there.
How big is Venomoth?
4 feet tall.
Oh, terrifying! What is these sizes? Oh, nightmare fuel.
Its moves are top tier. Yeah, it does learn a lot of psychic moves. And then we have Diglett.
C plus. It's a I don't even know. It's a Diglett. C plus.
Yeah, I gave it a D. It's there's nothing to its design. It is a thumb, a toe. It has no features. It is a featureless blob. Like it also I tried to use the Dugtrio in a failed Nuzlocke run. Diglett and Dugtrio have no stats. They have no HP, no defense. All of their stats are in attack, and even that's not very good. Diglett sucks.
Can you dumb that down for those of us who don't understand that? AKA me.
It's a weak Pokemon. It dies very easily.
it's only is it it's only ground type, right? So
Yeah.
there's okay.
Um, there is a Alolan Diglett, which is identical except it has the tiny little thing of hair.
C plus.
Yeah.
Your hair.
I don't like it. And then Dugtrio. It's 3 Diglets. 3 times 0 is still 0. It's a D.
C plus exclusively for the memes. Yeah, other than that, it's 3 Diglets.
It's holding back. And then there's a Alolan Dugtrio, which I hate with a passion. A Alolan Dugtrio is an F. For sure.
Because he's got that.
Yes, I hate the hair.
Yeah, see, it grew hair. It grew more hair than the Diglett. Okay, and then we are on to Meow. I give Meowth a D plus for some reason. I don't have a reasoning for that, so I'm gonna change it to C. It's a cat.
Yeah, not cute, not ugly. Galarian Meowth is a terrible trash gremlin, and I love it. I
Oh,
can't
that's
can't make it show up.
London
Yeah,
Meowth.
yeah,
right?
that's the English Meowth.
Oh my gosh, but Gigantamax.
Gigantamax one is hilarious. Long cat.
Yeah, Gigantamax is it's a bit higher.
Alolan Meowth is just he just looks like an asshole. It's just a Meowth, but he's an asshole. I don't like it. Then Persian. I gave Persian a B because I think it's a pretty Pokemon. It's very sleek. I like it.
I definitely would say that Persian gets higher than Meowth because it's, like you said, sleek and it's like feline in like the badass cat kind of way, like cat woman. That doesn't make sense, but it's higher than Meowth.
Yeah. To starter, I started with Bulbasaur, who I named B because that's
Best
the rating I
starter.
gave it.
We strongly disagree on that, but best starter.
Alolan Persian is terrible because it's got Garfield's head, but then the rest of the body is like a normal Persian body. Like, if you wanted to make
forgot about this.
if you want to make a fat Persian, that could have been good, except you already had Perugly. But instead, you just gave it Garfield's head on a body that doesn't match it at all. It looks terrible.
I forgot about this. Oh, Alolan, A for the face, F for the design, for the overall design.
Up next is Psyduck, and I recused myself from this one.
Feels bad, man. Your original rating was Monka S. Oh.
Because I was giving it an S. It was just a Monka S.
Oh, yeah, I believe you. No, obviously, Psyduck is like my favorite all-time Pokemon. It's like fat and awkward and confused and pretty useless. Like, that's me in a nutshell, you know? Like, I heavily relate to this poor little duck. And like Misty's mean to it, I relate to that. I just Psyduck, S plus. Coma, get out of here. Actually, I can't say that. It's Claire's channel, so fight Coma.
Coma, get out of here.
I think we do agree on Golduck, though, right? I think I give Golduck a F. I never let my Psyducks evolve. You're not supposed to do that, but I hate Golduck.
I gave Golduck a C. I'm going to amend that to a D because I'm actually looking at its design and it's really ugly. But like, it doesn't... How do you go from Psyduck to this? They look nothing alike. There's no connection between them whatsoever. Like, what? I don't like Golduck. It doesn't make any sense. Golduck is a B as well, only because it has a Psychic moveset. But it's not even Psychic type. That's the thing that bothers me, too, about both Psyduck and Golduck. they're both all about, like, Psyduck has these headaches because its brain power is too strong or it can't control its psychic powers. But it's not psychic type. And then it evolves into Golduck and continues to not be psychic type.
I never understood that in the anime, the lore, and I was like, okay, because Psyduck is pure water, right? And so is Golduck.
Yeah, just pure water Pokemon.
Game Freak, what are you doing? Ooh, Mankey. Okay. Literally gave this one a B because, like you said earlier, only reason I got through Brock on Pokemon Yellow. Not actually a fan of the Pokemon itself, but it was game saver.
I gave it a C- because I don't like monkeys, but this one isn't terrible because it's not monkey shaped. Like, it's got the monkey arms and tail, but its shape is fluffy ball, so it doesn't give me that immediate disgust of it being a monkey.
Side note, what's with the monkey dislike? Because, like, how does that reconcile?
I just don't really like monkeys. I don't like monkey-shaped Pokemon, basically. I don't really have, like, a good reasoning. I don't have a problem with, like, monkeys in real life. I don't hate monkeys in real life. I just don't really like monkey-themed Pokemon. They're just creepy most of the time.
I would say chat disagrees with you.
Considering how many monkey Pokemon there are, I think everyone disagrees with me. Mankey is you as a Pokemon.
Primate, I don't think I ever used Mankey past that first gym, so I've C- for Primate.
Yeah, Primate, same rating as Mankey for me. It's still a monkey, but it's not very monkey-ish, so it doesn't bother me too much. But I don't really like the it's angry all the time thing. It doesn't make me hate it as a Pokemon, but I never want to use one. That doesn't appeal to me as a player. I don't want my Pokemon to be angry all the time.
Aw, yeah, I'd agree with that.
There's only like 6 of them. There's way more than 6 monkey Pokemon.
Infernape? That's one.
Infernape, the 3 monkeys from Gen 5, and then their evolutions.
Pansear. Yeah, Pansear,
there's
Pansear. Yeah.
Apom and Ambipom. There's the new monkeys from Sword and Shield. We're up to 12 already. I think there's more. Oh, and then Mankey and Primate.
Is that one? No.
What's up?
Chimchar?
Chimchar. Oh, that's the Infernape pre-evolution.
No. I tried to Google it up and it brought the dish. Okay. I talked about Growlithe is next?
Yeah.
A minus. Yeah, A minus.
My comment here, cute pupper, 9 out of 10, would pet. I think he is very cute. He's a good dog. Good dog best friend. So he is an A tier for me as well. We're up to 800 plus Pokemon now.
Growlithe loses some of its cuteness when it evolves into Arcanine, so B. But I remember it evolves into Arcanine at like what, 55? I didn't have the patience for that.
Firestone.
To be honest.
You have to use a Firestone to evolve it. Nidoran female! Finally! You can leave this godforsaken place.
Don't let it get away.
Yeah, Arcanine, my comment is good pupper, 8 out of 10, would not pet. Arcanine loses a lot of its cuteness and becomes very, like, wild doggish.
Yeah.
And that just loses a lot of the appeal for me. I don't hate it. He's still a B, but, because he's like a good sturdy dog Pokemon. But, of the dog Pokemon, there are many others that I like a lot more. Fuck you, Rattata, for critting there. but we did not knock out the Nidoran female.
Quinn, catch it, catch it.
That's not legendary. Crunch is a sick move. I do like Crunch. But I like to use it on my Houndoom instead. It says legendary Pokemon, but he's not actually. That was before legendary was like a class of Pokemon. He's not actually legendary. It's like how Pikachu is the electric mouse Pokemon. Arcanine was the legendary Pokemon, but he's just a regular Pokemon. And then I think we disagreed pretty strongly about these until the last one.
Poliwag I gave an A just because I always thought it was cute, but to your point, visible intestines, yeah, that is not cute. But I will stick with maybe like a B plus.
I always liked Poliwag and thought it was cute until I found out that was its intestines, and I was like, oh nope, that's horrifying. I hate that a lot. Because like it even says in Gen 2 is when they were like, that's actually his intestines. They become more visible after he's eaten. And I'm like, oh, that's awful. Please don't ever tell me any facts about Pokemon ever again.
Yeah, exactly. And then as like without the intestine thing, Poliwag was cute, and then I thought he got less cute as he evolved. So like if I give Poliwag a B plus, Poliwhirl is probably a C, and then Poliwhirl is a C. Actually, I take it back. C minus. He's not cute now that I look at him.
Yeah, where's his mouth?
Where is his mouth to fill up those intestines?
Like he goes from having a mouth to just having 2 nose holes. And then does Poliwrath even have the nose holes? No, he does still have the nose holes. Poliwrath is just an angry Poliwhirl.
Cute. C minus.
It eats through its hands. Thanks, I hate it. Gonna make that a C minus as well.
Agreed. Oh my gosh, next. Oh my god.
Abra.
I gave this one an S just because I really like Abra and Alakazam. I don't like Kadabra. And I always thought Abra was cute, but you made the comment about like armor plating, and I thought it was just the shirt. I didn't ever think about that.
Oh. I like the armor appearance. I imagine that like an Abra clanks as it walks. Not like metal clanking, but like, you know, like stones hitting each other. Not that Abras walk anywhere because they float, but you know. And I
would
like
never have imagined
that. So I gave it a B. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say Abra is S, and then Kadabra goes down to like a. I said B plus, but I'm gonna go with a C plus. I dislike the tail, and I always got stuck with Kadabra because you have to trade to evolve it into Alakazam, and like I didn't have anyone to trade with, and I resented that.
Yeah, I like Kadabra. The tail bothers me on Kadabra as well. Can you stop using Sand Attack? For the love of God. I hate level 5 Pidgeys. He literally just 2-shot my Spearow because he Sand Attacked me once. I missed twice against him, and then he crit me twice in a row.
Do you have a... You don't have an electric yet.
No, I haven't even gotten to Viridian Forest. Is that Pidgey so challenging? He's an asshole. Yeah, I gave Kadabra a B, and then Alakazam I gave an A because I like the combination of like he still looks like he's wearing armor, but he's also very skinny, as if he's like a powerful psychic, like kind of a what I would expect from a warrior mage who's wearing like heavy armor but is himself physically frail. I like that combination there.
How tall is Alakazam?
It's probably like 4 feet. Yeah, 4 foot. 90% of Pokemon in Gen 1 are like 4'11" when capped out. That's the size of the player as well.
I would have guessed like 7 or 8 feet, but okay. Still an A plus tier for me.
Mega Alakazam actually shrinks a foot, I think, because he's sitting down.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, I didn't realize right after Abracadabra Alakazam, like the quintessential Gen 1 Psychic Pokemon are like Machop, and that evolution line, the quintessential like fighting. Kind of funny.
Yeah, it's they do a lot of that, like Pokemon that are meant to be two sides of a coin kind of thing. They'll put them right after each other, like the Caterpie line, then the Weedle line, or the Nidoran female line, Nidoran male line.
Yes. Okay. Machop, I give everybody a C here. C. Not a fan.
Yeah, all three of them, I gave them C's as well. Boring, still boring, but with stretch marks, and then forearms, still boring.
Which is the one, is it Machoke or Machamp? I guess Machoke and Machamp, they've got like the wrestling outfit, which I was not a huge fan of.
Yeah, and apparently the belt is like, it's supposed to help them control their power, which doesn't make sense. Also, I don't really like it when the Pokemon wear clothes, because where did those clothes come from? My Machop is not wearing clothes, and then suddenly he has a Speedo and a belt. Where did he get those? I'm in the middle of a cave when he evolved.
These are the questions.
In respect for the Machop evolutionary line. You know, I mean, he doesn't have junk, that's the thing. Machop doesn't have junk. There's nothing to see. So
did we just get demonetized?
That's my secret cap, I'm always demonetized. Machoke doesn't need junk. There shouldn't be anything to hide.
What is this stream?
It's dignity.
Next up is Bellsprout.
Yeah.
I gave this one a B+. Apparently, I'm gonna revise that to a B-. I like it because I like plants, but it's kind of dopey and weak.
Yeah, I gave it a B because the empty, vacuous stare I find hilarious. There's nothing going on in its head. It is wandering through life with not a single thought. Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, definitely. I feel like the pea shooters were definitely inspired by Bellsprout.
Oh, cannot unsee, yeah.
And then Weepin' Bell, I gave it a C+ because I don't like that it doesn't really have limbs. Like, it's got the two leaves, but it just floats there. It's like someone just cut the head off of a Bellsprout, and that's what you got. I don't really like. I don't like that.
Brutal. Okay, I'm gonna change mine to agree with you. C+. Weeping Bell, you have to evolve with a Leaf Stone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I never liked this one. B+.
Victory Bell goes back up to a B, but I would rather have had like a Bellsprout evolution where the like vine body gets bigger and stronger instead of vanishing completely, and then it has this like it has this like weird detached vine for the leaf that covers its mouth. That's not attached to its body at all, and that always confuses me.
Yeah, cannot unsee. I know this one mainly from the anime where there's a lot of like there's a running joke that he eats James, which I was always amused by that. So B-. Do you mind if we take a quick water break, like 3 minutes?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
just continue catching Pokemon. Gotta get my Pikachu. How many gym badges? Oh, I just started this game like an hour and 40 minutes ago. I haven't even reached the first gym. Into it, but to do it, let's go KO Broccoli. But I'll get there eventually. I want to get my Pikachu first. I also don't think my level 3 Nidoran would do very well. Good against Weedle, though. Welcome back.
I see you finally made it into Viridian Forest.
Yep, I am now farming for my Caterpie and my Pikachu. Hello, Thunder Yant. Tentacle guy, you could do better on him. Oops, that was the wrong move. Don't actually know what you mean by that.
Question.
Yeah. So Tentacool, I gave him a B. I like the gems on his head. You're not a fan?
No, I never really got it. Like, if you compare him to, what is he supposed to be? A squid, but with a shell? A jeweled shell?
Kind of a mix between a squid and a jellyfish. Tentacool's not a good Pokemon, is what you're saying? Eh. I like
That's
him.
why we do in tiers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Sorry, you said a squid jellyfish?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a mix between squid and jellyfish.
Tentacruel is he gets even more gems, is that right? Or no, more legs.
But yeah, he's a lot more tentacles, but he's still got the same 3 gems.
I don't even know my Gen 1 Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Also a C-.
Squellyfish, there you go. I gave him an A because I think he looks really cool. I think he is cool looking. He's much more jellyfish here than squid. I guess I actually don't really like the kind of like 2 hooked whatever those are. I don't know if that's like a beak or what. But I like the rest of his design pretty well. So you memorized all your Gen 1 Pokemon?
At one point, not anymore. Ooh, Geodude. Okay, C. I thought I was all excited for that one. No, C.
Yeah, the Geodude and its evolutions are very boring to me. So I gave him C's all the way through. It's a rock with arms, and he floats, I guess. Alolan Geodude is rock with arms, but he has eyebrows this time.
Really? Oh my gosh. And I'm just sensing a theme with the Alolan. Like, they just kind of added hair.
Yeah. It's so strong. It is strong, especially early Gen 1, where nobody has any moves that are good against him. But he's just, I don't know. He's so boring to use.
Agree on straight C's all the way through. I will say C+ for Golem because he's got arms and legs now, and he looks strong, but literally because he's a boulder. But my statement still stands.
Yeah, the one thing that confuses me is Geodude has 2 limbs. He's got 2 arms. Graveler has 4 limbs. He's got 2 legs and 4 arms. And then Golem has 4 limbs. He's got 2 legs and 2 arms. What happened?
Oh my gosh. That's my level of mathing right there. Well done.
I do like the Alolan version's like cannon on his back. But yeah, overall it's just C's all the way down. Not big on them. Ponyta, on the other hand, I think is very cute, and Galarian Ponyta is one of my favorite Pokemon. So, A tier for Ponyta.
So Galarian, again, that's the Gen 8 version, which it turns to ice, or no?
It's just Psychic type.
Psychic, okay.
And then I think Galarian Rapidash is Psychic Fairy, which is getting to be an overdone combination. There are so many Psychic Fairy types.
Yeah, I think Ponyta is just like the horse of Gen 1, right? Like the horse, Ponyta and Rapidash. But it was confusing because like you think horse, you're supposed to ride the horse, but like its mane is on fire. Like, how do you ride a Ponyta?
Its fire does not burn people it trusts. So if it trusts you, it won't burn you with the fire. That's why Ash is able to ride his Rapidash. That is canonically That's how it works.
Can you hear the fuses blowing? I didn't know that. Okay, but so if you in the Pokemon world, if you like just go up to a wild Ponyta and climb on, you're getting burned.
Yes, absolutely. But if you train it and raise it, then it will let you ride it without burning you.
Yeah. Okay. I think with that lore, B minus for both. No, B minus for Ponyta, B for Rapidash because I like that it's like bigger and better essentially. But horses, fire, getting burned by fire horse. No, thank you.
I gave Rapidash a B plus because it loses all the cuteness of Ponyta. And I'm not like super into horses by themselves. I just think Ponyta's cute, which is why it gets the A. So Rapidash doesn't really earn the A anymore, so it's B plus. But I do like Galarian Rapidash a lot. So that keeps it B plus. You want a Rapidash IRL? I mean, I would take almost any Pokemon IRL.
Next up, we've got
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke. Aw, you were so mean on this one. I gave Slowpoke an A because, as you know, that is PIRL.
Yeah, I was mean. He's not ugly, but he's not cute, so he gets a C. I've never paid attention to Galarian Slowpoke because it was only introduced in the DLC that I will never buy.
Galarian one now.
Yeah, it's got like yellow head and then a yellow tail.
Galarian Slowpoke. Is it okay? Oh my
I don't think
gosh.
it's okay.
Yeah, I'll give an A for now, but that's a little bit worrying. It's like got jaundice. See, Cobra is just so mean to all the Pokemon I like.
The other tails taste amazing. Don't fall for it. It's always $1 more than you can buy.
Slow Bro, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know canonically, like a Shelder or a Cloyster or a Shelder bites the Slowpoke's tail and then it evolves, but like that doesn't look like Shelder. So I never understood that part.
Yeah, they call it a Shelder. They've addressed that it's like a special kind of Shelder. So it's not like a normal Shelder. I keep hoping that they'll do a game where like you can get one of those, but I think that would throw off the whole evolving a Slowpoke. So it'll probably never actually appear in the game as anything other than Slowbro's like tail.
C plus, not overly fond of this one.
Yeah, I give him a C. He's not really much better to me. The Galarian one, I kind of like that it bites his hand instead, and so he's got basically a boxing glove. Though apparently he's poisoned, so I don't really understand that. And then Mega Slowbro is hilarious.
Oh, neither of those are okay. Oh, bro. Blink twice if you need rescuing.
He's just legit getting eaten, and everyone's like, it's his stronger form, and I'm like, he's dying, Squirtle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, next one's Ghastly. I like this.
Magnemite next.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. I'm so bad.
How did you... Oh, you were looking at Shelder and Cloyster.
Yeah, sorry. Magnemite. Okay, I'm much less excited now. See.
I gave Magnemite a B. I like its shape. I like that it's a little magnetic ball with like screws on it. It's a very simple Pokemon, but I like it for some reason. It's the thing you find at the bottom of the junk drawer, basically.
See.
And then Magneton, I don't know, there's something about like the combining of the three Magnemites like that. I like that. I also like the name a lot. Magneton is a cool name.
C plus. Because you can just tell that this one's stronger. So C plus. Because there's three of them. Ha 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 ha. Okay, but Still. I think from now on I'm gonna let you say the next ones because I'm gonna go out of order.
Up next is Farfetch'd.
Ooh.
I gave that a C because it's a bird with a leak.
Yeah, I'm gonna revise mine to a C. No, it's a bird with a leak, like you said. What else? What more is there?
It looks more like a duck than Golduck, though. And then Galarian one, his leak is really big, and he's angry about it.
It's the evolution where it turns into a sword, right?
Yeah, the evolution I really like. Surfetch'd is really cool, but Galarian Farfetch'd is meh. I also think it's weird that he's just fighting type instead of fighting flying, because he's still obviously a bird. But I think maybe they wanted to keep Hawlucha still relevant. Then we've got Doduo.
F. No. D? Is that what I said? I said C. No, I revised it to a D. A solid D. Maybe a D plus.
I gave it a C. I'm not super into it. It's a two-headed ostrich. I've never been a big Doduo fan. It's fast, but its moves are bad. Farfetch'd is normal flying type. Galarian Farfetch'd is fighting type. Yeah, Doduo is kind of boring, and then Dodrio is just Doduo with two heads. I gave it C+, and I don't really know why. Because it's not really much better.
Yeah, C minus. Oh, there's a. Can you hear that?
No.
There's a march going outside my apartment. 1 second.
Oh dang.
It's actually like 2 blocks away, but they are quite loud, so I can hear them. So, but we're good.
Okay. Pikachu incoming. We can only hope. That is not a Pikachu. It is yellow though.
You can get a Pikachu in Viridian Forest?
Yeah. Not in yellow version though. Only in red.
I should have been playing red and blue.
Bigger circles. Words. This is where I always get my Pikachu to eventually evolve.
Remind me, Pikachu has to evolve via Thunderstone, but there's no level requirement, right?
Right. So as soon as you get to Celadon City and can buy a Thunderstone, you can have a Raichu.
Nice. Okay.
Clockwise. That works for you. I mean, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just random chance.
In terms of finding one?
Yeah.
Seal. Ooh. C. C. Seal. Ha 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 ha. Okay. that is my final answer.
I gave it a D. It's a cartoon seal. It's actually more like a sea lion. I saw a whole thing that was like, seal is actually a sea lion. It looks nothing like a seal. I'm like, who gives a shit? But yeah, it's a cartoon. It even is sea lion Pokemon, but it's called seal. I gave it a D. I've never liked seal.
Seal is just generic. It's only water type, right? I gave Dugong higher because Dugong gets ice, and I like that. But yeah, seal is, I mean, if I ever caught one, it was to evolve it.
Yeah, I only ever caught it for the Pokedex. Aurora Beam is good. But I don't care about Seal. And same with Dugong, I give Dugong a D. It is water ice, but I think all the ice types in this game were water ice except Jinx and Articuno. Which I think is it's just Seal and Cloyster, or Dugong and Cloyster. We're both water ice. Oh, and Lapras.
Oh, okay.
There were no plain ice types in Gen 1.
Okay. Yeah, so I think, what did I see? B minus? That seems high. C plus for Dugong, C minus for Seal.
I honestly couldn't even tell them apart as a kid, Seal and Dugong. I had no idea what the difference between them was. S tier Dugong for you. And then Grimer. Oh boy.
So I was surprised when we were looking on the Pokemon Center website, like the store, the Grimer plush is actually like really cute. So for that alone, I think I bumped up the rating to I'm gonna say B minus, but otherwise not a fan.
Yeah, I think Grimer embodies the complaint that a lot of people had about Gen 5. In Gen 5 was the gen that I saw all the fans going, they've run out of ideas, these Pokemon are terrible, look at Trubbish, it's literally a garbage bag. And I'm like, have you seen Grimer? It's a pile of sludge. It's not even like specifically something, it's just goop.
Was Gen 5 with like the keys and the ice cream and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of see it. Yeah, I guess in Gen 1, Grimer was like unique in it being nothing. But
yeah,
it's still ugly.
And then Muck is just Grimer, but less solid and bigger.
And stinkier, right? C plus.
Yeah. It is 3 feet 11 inches, so it's almost 4 feet of sludge.
Ugh.
Hey Odon, how's it going? So I believe I gave Muck a D as well.
Yeah, it's C minus. Maybe not so far as a D, but C minus.
The Galarian, or not Galarian, the Alolan versions are differently colored, but they're the same Pokemon. Alolan Muck has like teeth all in it, which aren't teeth, they're hardened crystals of garbage or whatever. It's gross. I hate it. It's got teeth all in it, and it's gross.
Ugh. Oh, that is worse. Yeah. C minus.
Shelter, on the other hand, it's a B. I like it. It's cute.
Agree. We finally, well, I think we've agreed before, but agree.
Yeah.
B, solid B. It's cute. It bites Slowbros, so less cute, but it's a special shelter that bites them. So this one's okay.
Next one shall be Pikachu. You feel it in your jellies. Zeri music sounds like ghost towns. It's similar. What this is most like is the Rocket Hideout in Game Corner, because it is identical, except the Rocket Hideout in Game Corner has a little bit more to it. And then Cloyster, I also gave a B. I like that he's got that spike cannon, and I like how big and tough he is.
See, I would give it like a C for that same reason. Like, he loses the cute bonus points for ice type, right? Because it's water ice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's C plus.
That thing used to spook you when you were younger. Oh, this Pokemon's so strong. Yeah, he's very strong. I like Cloyster a lot more in later versions, where you can give him Skill Link, which guarantees that multi-hit moves will always hit 5 times, which makes them way overpowered, and he can learn so many multi-hit moves. It makes him really, really strong. And then Ghastly, which looks like a Cloyster who's missing his shell.
doesn't seem right. E minus.
For Ghastly?
Yeah. I would say, because out of, like, I like this evolution chain, but out of Ghastly, Haunt, and Gengar, I like Ghastly the least. So maybe B minus.
Yeah, he's kind of bland, which is why I gave him a B. I like using Ghastlies. Gengar was always on my team for a long time when I was a kid. I would have him in Gen 1 and Gen 2 on my team. Because I was able to trade my Haunter to evolve it. But,
Just gonna ask, did you have a second console, or did you actually have friends? Because can't relate to either.
neither. My brother played. Hey, Pikachu! Watch me crit one-shot it.
Okay, everybody do a good luck dance. Do a good luck dance.
Crit, don't crit. Okay. This may not catch it, because I didn't weaken it very much. Nope, we got it.
Nicely done, nicely done.
I like that the combat music still plays, even though I'm naming the Pokemon that I caught. Still haven't caught a Caterpie, though. I found a Pikachu before a Caterpie.
Fun. Nice name, nice name.
Haunter... What did I give Haunter? I gave Gengar a C? No way. I'm revising that.
Time to revise.
Haunter I gave
Yeah.
a C because he feels... Again, it feels like that kind of, like, awkward middle phase between purely ethereal Ghastly and solid form Gengar. So he feels a little... It feels like we paused him mid-evolution, to me.
You're sticking with B?
C,
Aw.
C for Haunter.
Yeah, I'll stick with B plus. I kind of like Hunter. I feel like I need to revise mine. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Gengar A plus. Yes, I stand by that one.
Yeah, I bumped Gengar up to a B. I don't know why I don't know why I gave him a C. I do like Gengar.
A plus. If the artist that did my Pikachu painting ever does Gengar, I'm gonna be like, can I have that one, please? Gengar or Psyduck, although I don't know if Psyduck is in the cards.
Up next is Onyx. I gave Onyx a B plus because I kind of like the rock snake idea. I feel like he's a little... Because he's Brock's Pokemon, he's a little overdone, a little overhyped. But I like the rock snake design.
Say C, just because it's terrifying to think about a giant rock snake. This is one of the ones in Gen 1 that's not limited to 4'11", right?
Yeah, no, he's 28 feet long.
Okay, yeah. Think about that IRL, or even in in-universe. That's terrifying. That's a 3-foot building, which I know is the point, but that's terrifying. Just the sheer destructive power, don't mess with that. And that's your first gym?
Yeah.
Talk about hazing.
And what's sad is he doesn't even have very good stats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's most Gen 1 Pokemon that didn't evolve had pretty lackluster stats. His space stat total is 385, which is lower than most second evolutions. and it's almost all in defense. He's got 160 points in defense. So he's got no HP, no special attack, no special defense, very little attack. He's got some speed, but he's purely a tank with very little HP, which isn't really a good combination.
Which because Pokemon is turn-based and you can only have one out at a time, it's like purely to weaken or to tire out your opponent's Pokemon, but then you have items.
Yeah, he's more there to like soak hits while you do something else with him. He could learn Bind, which wasn't a very strong move, but prevented the opponent from doing anything while you used it. So, he was very dangerous that way, because you use Bind to prevent your opponent from attacking, and then the few times your opponent did get a hit in, it wouldn't hit very hard. An Onyx IRL for traffic, I mean science. Yeah. Drowsy. Drowsy's weird.
Agreed. I said C, but I'm gonna demote it to a D, just because, like you said, it's weird. I'm not a fan of the design. The game in Pokemon Stadium drove me crazy. Like, that was the only one I couldn't figure out how to just like win at. It's D.
Yeah, he's a C minus for me. I really hate the look on his face in this picture. I think that's absolutely terrible. The only reason he isn't a D is when I was a kid, I got a Drowsy because I couldn't catch an Abra, and Drowsy and Hypno were like my main psychic types, and they carried me through a lot of the game because Hypno's pretty strong. Because they could also learn like Hypnosis and then Dream Eater, which was extremely overpowered. That move was way too strong.
They're both pure psychic.
Yeah, they're both pure psychic.
I would always just catch an Abra, so I never, other than for completion, never got a Drowsy.
Hypno I give a D to because I don't like anything about him. I don't like anything about him. Just get rid of him.
Agreed.
There's also in Sun and Moon a guy who's dressed up as a Hypno to trick people into giving him money, and it's super creepy and I hate it.
To trick people into giving him money? What?
He dressed up as, he's standing like, I don't know if he's inside the store or outside the store, but he's dressed up as a Hypno, and he's got like a pan or something. And like it's something to encourage people to like give money. It's like, oh, look at this cute Pokemon that's collecting donations for something. I'll give it money. But he's literally just taking the money. Like he's literally just pretending to be collecting donations or something, and then he just takes the money.
Like, kind of messed up for a kid's game, but all right. All the more reason to rate him a D.
Yeah. Have you seen the Hypno lore? No, I've never heard of any kind of like lore for Hypno. Krabby, on the other hand, time for Crab. It's a B. I like it.
C for both Krabby and Kingler, just because they're generic, they're crabs, and I want to say both are just water type, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of just water types in Gen 1, so I just, again, caught them for completion's sake. But I also feel like they're very prominent on the islands in later game, and I guess with Pikachu you could one-shot them, but still a C.
Kidnaps kids at night, kills them in a cave. That is definitely not official lore. Krabby is lunch. I don't know. I like Krabby. Krabby's a B because I like crabs, and then Kingler just feels very big and tanky. He is probably the water Pokemon I would go for if it weren't for Vaporeon in Gen 1. Because I like Kingler's giant claw, and he's just like a big beefy dude. What do people eat in the Pokemon world? Not meat for the most part that I've seen.
The soup.
Say again?
Potato soup.
Potato
In,
soup.
Mewtwo Strikes Back, that's what it looks like Brock is cooking for all of them. Oh, and of course, jelly donuts.
I was about to say they eat jelly donuts. Yeah, I think there's something I saw where like most of the meat is actually like vegetable derived, and because there aren't non-Pokemon animals or something like that. I don't know, but people definitely do not eat Pokemon except Team Rocket selling Slowpoke tails.
What? This universe is messed up for being like a young kids franchise.
On the upside, the Slowpoke tails do regrow.
Oh, like starfish.
Yes. Yeah, surely there's someone who does, but yeah, for the most part. Voltorb, it's a Pokeball. I gave it a B because it's the first Pokeball Pokemon, and I like the game's take on that is like, well, which came first? Were Pokeballs designed after Voltorb, or did Voltorbs evolve to look like Pokeballs? And why would they do that?
I gave Voltorb a B minus. I gave Voltorb a B minus just because I am biased, I guess. I always confuse the two, Voltorb and Electrode. And Electrode had self-destruct, right? Especially when you go into the power plant.
Yeah.
And I would always die to that. And then you'd have to go out, and then you'd have to go back in because you're trying to catch Zapdos. B minus for both.
Yeah, Electrode gets a C for me for that reason.
Oh no.
Because the self-destruct. I never understood self-destruct. It seemed like such a terrible move. And like, I understand there are use cases for it, but anytime any of my Pokemon is like, X Pokemon is trying to learn self-destruct, I'm like, nope, you are not learning that move. Execute. I give a C because I don't like the cracked broken one. Like your comment concerned about the cracked broken one. It's so weird that they are like 6 separate creatures, but they're one Pokemon.
Are they glued together? They move as one entity, right?
They don't. They can move. Well, they like when traveling, they travel together, but like they when the 3D model, when it's attacking, the eggs do not move in unison. Like if it's using like a physical attack, some of them will like slam forward before the others. So they are like 6 separate creatures. I will say, though, the cracked broken one, executes are not actually eggs. There is a type of tree, which is what Executor is based on, whose seeds look like cracked eggs, like these. So the cracked broken one, that's not yolk inside, that's just the inside of the seed. It's still concerning that it's cracked and broken, but it's not just gonna like spill out. I think it's solid in there.
That is slightly less concerning. I think I still give it a C.
Yeah. But I still give it a C as well. Executor, I gave it D because it's so like regular Executor is so dopey and stupid looking. I don't like it. Alolan one I like. I like the Alolan one. The giant palm tree.
Yes. Alolan one, probably a B+. Executor, C by association.
Only because the psychic moves. At least it is actually psychic type. I have finally been poisoned. That took a while. I also like the the comment that people have in game about Executor versus Alolan Executor. People not from Alola will be like, "How are your Executors so big?" And they're like, "Because our Executors are getting proper sunlight and nutrition. This is what they're supposed to grow into. Your Executors are stunted because they aren't receiving proper sunlight and fertilizer."
Oh, I am sad now.
I also like the Grass Dragon combo. I think it's the first ever Grass Dragon, and I like seeing new type combinations. So I like the new type combo of Grass Dragon there.
That's for Alolan only?
Sorry?
Grass Dragon is for Alolan Executor only, right?
Yeah. Regular Executor is a Grass Psychic. Alolan is Grass Dragon. And then Cubone. I gave Cubone a C.
Yeah, current me, present me would agree B- purely for the nostalgia factor of like being an edgy teen and being like, oh, I relate to Cubone. But C.
I'm also wearing my mother's skull.
No comment. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna amend it C plus just because I kind of like the Bone Club. I think that's fitting. But I don't really like the wearing the skull of its mother. If it was just wearing like a generic skull, that'd be fine. But the whole concept of it's wearing its mother's skull and it's the lonely Pokemon and all that makes me not like it so much.
Agreed. As an adult, agreed.
Marowak, I'm keeping it a C, even though it has the cool Bone Club, because the way that, considering Cubone is wearing a skull, and the way that Marowak's head is skull-like, it feels to me like it evolved, and the skull got fused with its head, and I really don't like that.
Again, thanks, I hate it. Yeah, okay, so that, in addition to the whole Cubone's mom storyline being unnecessarily sad, I think I'm gonna downgrade to C-. Maybe, okay, redeeming back to a C because the Bone Club is bigger and better, but C. Yeah, final answer.
I do like Alolan Marowak leaning into the ghost type and explaining why the Marowak that you fight in Lavender Tower, whatever it's called, is a ghost. So Alolan Marowaks are ghost fire. I like that.
Okay.
But I'm not as huge a fan of the design. The head feels like it's way too big for the body. So I'm not as into it.
Club looks like a weightlifting dumbbell, but with fire, but still.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a poi dancing fire stick, and that's their thing, is like they dance with the club and all that.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Agreed.
I'm going to revise Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Both are B pluses. They were originally a C and a B, but I'm giving them both B pluses.
Give Hitmonlee an A because kicking is superior, and Hitmonchan I'm going to revise to a C plus because punching is inferior.
I'm making them both B pluses because I like Hitmonchan more. Because I like the punching more than the kicking. If Marowak dies, how does the skull fit on Cubone? Don't know. How does my Marowak that I breed with a Ditto still have its skull after I breed Cubones?
These are the questions that do not need to be asked.
Yes. But the reason that I'm giving Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan their respective things is they're both references to Jet Li and Jackie Chan. That's why they're Hitmonlee for Jet Li and... Or, sorry, Bruce Lee, not Jet Li. Bruce Lee. Hitmonlee for Bruce Lee and Hitmonchan for Jackie Chan. And I like that kind of nod to them, because they're both really, really famous actors, and also really like cool people. I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff where they're both like really cool people. So,
I agree with that. Yeah, I between the two, I think I'm personally a bigger fan of Jackie Chan just because I've seen like more of his movies and they're a little bit more like kid friendly, feel good romps.
mhm.
But still, him only kicking is superior. We disagree on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, agree 100%. I don't know why I don't know why I had B. I'm gonna say D as well. Like it's I remember it being disappointed that it was only normal type. Like if it was normal poison, if that's a thing, or just poison, maybe I could get behind it because it's like kind of creepy and messes you up. But it's just normal, but with a tongue. Thing. Ugh. Welcome to Pokemon Biology class, the class that no one asked for. I gave coughing a C as well. I'm gonna skip class, I think. 2.5. Wait, what? Oh my gosh, I didn't. Okay. B minus. They are both frowning, and the smaller one's just like, why am I here? How did I come into existence?
I muted myself. I don't know how. How long have I been muted?
Uh oh. The thing is, I could hear you the whole time.
Yeah.
You did on OBS, I
What's
guess.
what's the last Pokemon you heard me give my opinion of?
Uh oh.
Before Lickitung?
Oh no.
Okay,
Whoops.
quick recap. Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan I both like, because Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Lickitung is an F because it's terrible. Coughing's a C because it's just kind of bleh. And then Wheezing is also a C. Though I do like Galarian Weezing. Galarian Wheezing. Because I like that it's got the stovepipe hats and it's also a smokestack, and apparently the gas it emits is like good gas. Like it absorbs pollutants and emits clean air.
Oh, we need some of those.
Yes. That's something I wish that maybe Sword and Shield could have gone a little harder on, is the environmental message. I feel like they sort of kind of did it, and then we're just like they ruined it all by having the one guy concerned about the future be a psychopath who spawns an evil demon monster. What is good gas? Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, a mix of that.
The stuff you're breathing. I don't remember the plot of Sword Shield at all because I don't remember what you're referring to.
So 90% of the game is terrible things going on and all the adults going, "Don't worry about it, kid. We got it. The adults will handle it." And then finally at the end, the mayor, governor, what is his title? The leader of the area, the not Leon, but the other guy, the political leader.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's got that assistant.
This whole time he's basically telling Leon, "Look, 100 years in the future, we're probably going to run out of power because we're running on an unsustainable power source right now." And the whole time, Leon is like, "That's the future. Like, we're good for now. We don't have to worry right now." And then the guy's like, "Well, you're not going to worry right now. I'm going to make you worry." And he spawns Eternatus to cause the darkest day and destroy everything to make people pay attention. Which is like the exact opposite of what he should be doing. And I don't know why he does that or why he thinks that's a good idea.
I need to replay. I do not remember this plot at all. Holy cow.
It was like there's several Pokemon that are very much an environmental message, like Corsola and Cursula. There's a lot of comment about, energy and stuff. But then they make it so that the good guys are the ones saying ignore the energy problems, and the bad guy is the one saying we need to be concerned about the future. And that just throws everything out the window. I don't like that. Hope they don't do the weird lip syncing without words to lip sync to. That was weird. Yeah, Rose. Chairman Rose. That's it. He's chairman. Chairman Rose. He's an idiot.
I remember zero of this. Oh, worst memory, Annie.
But the next Pokemon is Rhyhorn, which I gave a B to, because I like his little, I like his whole idea of him being, unstoppable once he starts charging. He's just this unstoppable tank that will charge through a wall and not even notice.
Say C+ for Rhyhorn, just because I like Rhydon so much better. But C+, yeah.
Right on. The original Pokemon, the first one ever designed. We reversed here. I give him a C because he's just not as interesting to me as Rhyhorn was.
I remember liking Rhydon more. I don't, maybe because evolution and more powerful, better stats and stuff, but at this point I'm ambivalent.
Hey Rip, how's it going? Then we've got Chansey, which give a C. It's like an evolved Jigglypuff. If Jigglypuff's evolution was actually not just a taller Jigglypuff.
Yeah, Chansey, I almost wish Chansey couldn't be one that you could catch, because I really like it as the Nurse Joy's assistant, the healer Pokemon, the egg Pokemon apparently. But even though it's really rare and you get it in the Mewtwo cave, right? I never found a reason to catch one because it's normal type, so it's not strong in attacking or no type advantages.
Yeah, I would like Chansey to be useful outside of combat, which they do a little bit. It gets one of its abilities that it can get can heal other Pokemon, or cure them of status effects. But yeah, I've never been interested in using a Chansey. They're just kind of their only stat is HP. They're a giant punching bag.
Exactly.
Only Pot of Chansey so Nurse Joy will like you. And then Tangela. I give it a C. It's a mess of vines.
I'm gonna go with C minus. This is pure grass type, right? But it's so ugly.
Yeah, it. I just doesn't. I don't have any interest in this vine creature. It kind of reminds me of Cousin It from Addams Family, but
I see it.
yeah, it's just not very interesting.
You repeat it too. Oh no, save it.
Oh yeah, he fainted. He got poisoned. And Kangaskhan. It's a kangaroo with the baby.
But it's armored. See, I never really liked that. I think I'm gonna see. Yeah, C.
Yeah, it. There's nothing about this that interests me. I don't actively hate it, but nothing about it draws my interest at all. You can relate to it, Flair? Relate to what? Kangaskhan?
Oh, Tangela.
Tangela? Oh, for long hair. Yeah. Oh my god, a Metapod, but still no Caterpie. Please give me a Caterpie.
Will you catch this one so you can get the Butterfree?
No. No, I always go for the pre-evolutions. I always wanted to ride in the pouch. You just gotta dress up as its baby. Or be a child who fell out of a helicopter and landed into a forest full of Kangaskhan's, like that one Pokemon episode.
Oh my gosh.
Up next is Horsey. Oh, I gave a lot of... Okay, yeah, we're getting into where I started getting bored with the Pokemon. Horsey I gave a C to. It's a seahorse. Meh.
Yeah, because both of these are purely water type, so nothing like super exciting there. Yeah, C for the next four.
Yeah, I think C's all the way down to Staryu for me. So yeah, Seadra, it's also a C. Okay.
Oh. It's a little bit frozen on mine. Oh no, we're good. Oh.
I'm also muted. That's what happened. So my mute and unmute button on my keyboard is right next to the enter key, which is the start menu. So I'm accidentally hitting that instead of the start menu. That's how I accidentally muted myself.
Okay, we're not muted right now?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only thing they missed was me saying that I couldn't open the start menu.
Okay. So, yeah, C's all the way down, basically.
Yeah, not even much to talk about. Goldeen and Seaking, they're just fish. They're just goldfish with a horn on them.
So, this, like, band of 6 pure water types, all the C's for me.
Yeah, I like Staryu and Starmie enough to give them B's, but that's about it. And then we get to Mr. Mime.
D? Oh, you gave him an F. Oh.
Mr. Mime is creepy, and I don't like looking at him.
Is he? I remember in Yellow you could only get him via trade, right? So I didn't like that, and it was like pure psychic, but I already had pure psychic, so yeah, I'd say C minus.
I will say I like Galarian Mr. Mime more, or rather, I hate Galarian Mr. Mime less. Because he's more clowny and less like, because Mr. Mime, I get that his aesthetic is clown, but he's just so creepy all around. Whereas Galarian Mr. Mime is more just like a clown. He doesn't have the weird, like, circles on his fingers. His limbs aren't attached to his body with big red balls. I think parts of Mr. Mime are the edible parts. I've seen that picture. Don't like Mr. Mime.
Oh, should I Google that or no?
It's just like this comic of how to eat Pokemon, and it's completely made up thing that someone did about like all of Mr. Mime is poisonous except for
What?
the little red balls. Hey, Winnister, how's it going? Wait, this isn't Pokemon Yellow Definitive Special Collector's Game of the Year edition. This is Pokemon Red, streamable edition.
That's the important part. No, either. Oh yeah, I'm torn. As an adult, I'm like, this thing is kind of weak, and it's like there's, at least in Gen 1, there's no evolution. It's purely grass, or is it grass bug?
It is bug flying.
I was way off. Okay. Maybe I'll amend it to, yeah, I'll stay with B.
Fun fact, Scyther and Scissor, the evolution's base stat total is identical. Scyther does not actually gain stats from evolving. They just get redistributed. Scissor has more defense and less attack, or more defense and less speed. Scyther has more attack, or has less defense and more speed.
So it's like a sideways change. It's not an upgrade.
Yeah, it's you're basically choosing, would you rather be bug flying or bug steel, and would you rather be faster but more fragile, or would you be tankier but slower? I just muted myself again. I'm very good at streaming. Can I get a Caterpie, please? I give Scyther an A. Yeah, I like Scyther's design. I think he's cool. Faster is better for smooth than just one shot, but Scissor looks cool.
It's red, right? Yeah, based on color alone. Green Scyther.
Then we have this mistake. F-, and I don't even want to be sitting on this picture for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. We can we can discuss it, but I don't want to be sitting on that picture.
F-. No, I mean, I didn't realize what you had told me about it, and so, but like for me, it was like rare. It was pure ice type, right? Which is
ice psychic.
Oh. Well, I think ice makes it weak to fire, right? And like by the time that you get to the point of the game where you can even catch this thing, if you can catch it, there's like a lot of fire opponents, and I was just like, I'm not dealing with it. But then like you told me like why you dislike it, I was like, yeah, no, F+, never again, or F-.
Yeah, they tried to sort of redesign it slightly later to make it less bad, but it's still pretty bad. Didn't know it was ice. Yeah, you catch it in don't you catch it in Seafoam Islands, which is right before Blaine, the fire type gym leader.
That's what it is. Yeah, I think that's gotta be it, because you spend all this effort to catch it because it's rare, and then you're like, oh, this is useless. This is meat shield.
Yep. Then we have Electabuzz, which I give a C to. I mean, anything looks good compared to Jinx, but he's still not great.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna agree with yours. C.
I would rather he was like actually a cat instead of this weird cat-themed Pokemon.
I would never have known that he had a tail until you mentioned that it's supposed to be like feline-esque. I always just thought it was a giant bug. Yeah, same.
Yeah, he's sort of got like cat fangs, I think. Yeah, he's somewhat cat inspired. Magmar is unfortunate because his head is a butt.
Another one I didn't notice until you pointed out. Now it's like, cannot unsee.
I give him another C.
Yeah, I think honestly, I'm gonna revise all of my, other than Pinsir, I'm gonna revise all of my what's it called? Safari Zone only to C, because I was very bad at the Safari Zone and Slash didn't have the patience for it. So C's all around.
Pinsir,
A.
I gave him a B. I do like his design. I like Mega Pinsir a lot, with like the beetle wings and everything. I don't like that it gives him flying type, because I think there are like 19,000 bug flying types, and we didn't need to make Mega Pinsir flying. Giving him the wings is fine, he doesn't need to be flying.
Pinsir is just bug, right?
Yeah, just plain bug.
Okay.
And he's
one.
Yeah, he's kind of the flip side of Scyther, because red version got Scyther, blue version got Pinsir. I agree, he's pretty scary. But I like him. And then Tauros is boring. It's a bull.
Yeah, C minus. Tauros was the USA exclusive Pokemon Go Pokemon, right?
Yeah, which...
That was anticlimactic.
And I get that they were trying for the whole, like, buffalo, but Tauros isn't a buffalo. He's just a bull, and cows are pretty ubiquitous. He's also one of those Pokemon that's like, his whole thing is he's always angry. I don't care for that. So I give him a D.
Aw. C. Utterly forgettable.
Yes. Magikarp, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, but Magikarp is only a B for me.
Opposed to... I thought everybody hated Magikarp.
I thought that people like... Oh my god, it's a Caterpie. That's only been an hour that I've spent in the Viridian Forest.
Forward focus, you got this.
Magikarp is... Oh, I don't know if I have a Pokemon weak enough to not kill it.
Oh yeah, don't one-shot it. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Pokeball at full health, we'll see. I feel like Magikarp is a lot more popular because of memes and stuff. People don't actually want to use a Magikarp, but I think he's fun to make fun of, but in like you tease your friend kind of way, not in a like actually hating him kind of way. So to me, it seems like people like him. He's a meme god, yeah.
No, I feel like, okay, again, ever the contrarian, like, I thought people hated him because he was useless, and everyone was like, I only get the Magikarp to evolve it into Gyarados. So I always liked Magikarp, but now I'm like, oh, whatever. So I'm going to downgrade it to an A. But I do identify with a mostly weak and useless Pokemon. This was the only one in Gen 1 with Flash that did nothing, right? Like, every other move actually did something.
Yep. Splash, which was Hop in the actual like Japanese name for it, translated to Hop, but the Game Freak didn't think that people in the US would understand that meant it was like flopping on the ground, so they renamed it Splash. And then in Gen 2 we got Hoppip, who only knew Splash, and everyone was confused as to why this grass Pokemon knew Splash. Because it was supposed to be Hop.
Oh, that is confusing.
And yeah, it does nothing, because it's just supposed to be like flopping around on the ground. Not actually a move or anything. Magikarp confirmed strongest Pokemon. If you level it to level 15, it learns Tackle, and if you level it to level 30, I think it learns Flail. But dear God, why would you ever level it to level 30? Then we go to Gyarados, and I give him an A because I like the big sea serpent look. He is another case of not actually being a dragon type, and he's water flying, which is a nightmare combination when electric is so prevalent.
Yeah.
But I do like the giant sea serpent look.
Now I'm torn because, like, after getting all the Jade Serpents in WoW, this is like the Pokemon that's closest to it. But Gyarados is very overhyped. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll go with B plus. B. 5 minutes later.
He's also a Pokemon that is always angry, but at least to me that's more fitting because, you know, he's a big destructive sea serpent.
Bullied before evolving.
That too. Then we've got Lapras. We give Lapras an A. I think it's a pretty Pokemon, and I like the Loch Ness Monster inspiration that it's got.
I know. Okay, yeah, I would say. Apparently, I gave it a C plus next to me. Maybe B minus. I like because Lapras is water ice.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that it was partial ice. I was very alarmed because, like, in the anime, like, Ash has a Lapras and they all ride on his back, which makes sense, right? But in the game, you can teach your Magikarp maybe. You can teach your Goldeen surf, and then you can, like, surf across the ocean with your Goldeen, and that seemed a bit alarming to me.
Yeah. HM's never really took into account the size of Pokemon. What's that picture of, like, Gary Oak lying on Pidgey or something like that?
Oh my gosh, I must see this.
Yeah, here we go. I think it's a Spearow. Copy image. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Okay.
Oh right, the whole comic is a person sitting on Scyther, going, "All right, Scyther, use Fly." Scyther cannot learn Fly, and then he looks up in the sky and sees Gary Oak on the Spearow.
Oh, poor Spearow. It's reminiscent of the comic that you sent me with the Tauren and the mounts. The change where they made the mounts like any race
yeah.
and use any mounts. So the Tauren are like the tiny ostriches. Like,
yep.
It's a bit like that, those vibes. But so Lapras itself, yeah, probably B minus.
Ditto.
S tier. S tier. No question. S tier.
Just an A tier for me, but I do like Ditto a lot. I love that it keeps the face when it transforms, which apparently is only one specific Ditto in the anime, but at least in the video games, every Ditto keeps the Ditto face. Are they used to surf in the first movie? That's how they get to the island? Kind of feels like you made that up.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's like shouldn't be a thing. It just seems alarming. Because like if you have to cross an ocean, would you rather be on a Lapras than like hanging on for dear life on a tiny Goldeen? Like nobody's happy in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like some Pokemon would be much better to ride than others. I do
oh, go ahead.
in Gen. I don't remember if it was Gen 6 or Gen 7 that they introduced. If you teach a Sharpedo surf, then you go like twice the speed of any other Pokemon because Sharpedos are really fast.
Like that. Okay. I was gonna say, can we take another water break real quick? Just like
Yep.
5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Just leave it up on Ditto and continue making my way through Viridian Forest. They drowned in the movie. I'd rather demand that guy give me an antidote. Actually, I'm gonna get up and take a quick break too, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. And now I want to watch the first Pokemon movie. Try to find the nostalgia.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, I think this is a good stopping point because the next ones are the evolution.
Yeah.
Maybe? Okay. I was like, did I get it wrong again?
Yeah, Eevee's the next one. There we go.
Oh, is that Gigantamax Eevee?
Yeah, big fluff.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Gigantamax Eevee. Oh my gosh. I think for Eevee, I would say I always dislike the fact in Gen 1 you could only get one, right? So you had to pick the evolution.
Yeah.
A plus. A? No, regular A. Final answer.
Yeah, I gave Eevee an A, because it's very cute, and I like Eevee and all the evolutions. But again, yeah, I just like for all of Gen 1 games, you could only ever get one Eevee, so you had to pick the evolution. In Gen 2, you could finally start breeding Pokemon, which allowed you to get more than one Eevee.
What about in later ones? Because I know in Gen 8 you can straight up just catch the evolutions.
Yeah. So from Gen 1 from Gen 1 to Gen 5, Eevee, you're only ever given one Eevee, and if you want more, you have to breed it. I believe Gen 6, 7, and 8, you can catch Eevees in.
See? Rip, you're about to get banned.
Like Vulpix more than Eevee. See? I like Vulpix, but I like Eevee more. And then we have the best Pokemon, S+++, favorite Pokemon, Vaporeon.
This is one of the times, you know how in YouTube videos they've got like the fireworks effect?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should have this on screen.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I think I have, let me pull up Streamlabs real quick. Letterbox. Because I believe my subscription emote is a Vaporeon. Yeah. Vaporeon, all-time favorite Pokemon. I always love to use it when I can. Favorite evolution, favorite water type, favorite Pokemon. I love everything about Vaporeon.
Do you mind if I ask, where did you display the pop for? And if so, where? And or did it go into the bucket?
What?
Did I not send you a Vaporeon pop? Oh, spoiler alert! That's not your birthday gift. Wait, am I going crazy?
I don't.
You know the pop vinyl figures? I thought I sent you one. Did I not? Oh my god.
Hang on.
This is. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties.
Okay, I feel like I'm losing my mind because I remember you doing that. I remember you sending me one, and
Oh my gosh, okay, good.
I don't remember where I put it. I can't find it.
Okay, I was like, did I just spoil something I was going to send? I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not in my house anymore. And I distinctly remember getting it. I don't think I made that up.
If you didn't send it to me, then I got one from someone else, but I don't know where I put it. I think
Uh-oh.
I think I set it somewhere to like out of the way to clear space off for something. Like on the day that I got it, I put it, I took it out of the box, set it somewhere, and then forgot its existence because I'm terrible about that.
It like moved by itself? You got a poltergeist in your house.
Yeah, I do not know. I will. Uh, Now I've got a cat. I will seek it out and try and figure out where it is. Oh wait, is that it? Hang on, I might be dumb. I'll be right back.
Technical difficulties. Oh no.
I'm just dumb. I found it.
Okay, good. So you do have it. Okay.
Yes, I do have it.
I-
I recently plugged my Switch back in because I heard that there were blackouts happening in my state, so I wanted to make sure all my stuff was charged up. And I set my Switch on top of it. So then when I was looking around for it, I just saw the Switch and didn't see it itself because I still have it in the box.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm really glad I didn't imagine that and or just like spoil something for the whole internet to see. Like, not only did I tell you, but there were people here to witness it.
Yeah, no, I will actually probably clear some space off on my desk, take this out of the box and set it up on here.
But if you take it out of the box, no, I'm just kidding. It's not a serious comment. Not a serious comment.
Okay, I am back. So did you give your rating for Vaporeon?
I think A. 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 I like all of the evolutions in Gen 1. Yeah, A.
And up next is Jolteon. Fave Fire type for Gen 1. There's probably Rapidash. Gen 1 doesn't have very good fire types.
Jolteon I gave an A plus just because I like electric type because they're all yellow. And also the meme of what's it called? When Pokemon Go, the different groups, and I was Team Instinct, and you know they put him with a Jolteon. It was like derpy and. This one gets an A plus, but I really like all the Gen 1 evolutions.
I gave Jolteon a B. I should revise. Any evolution that I gave a B is an A. Can I? Oh, I'm hitting Control, not Shift.
Uh-oh, you didn't mute yourself, did you?
No. I was trying to revise in the list my B to a capital A, and I thought I was hitting Shift A, but I was just barely hitting Control, which was selecting the column instead of replacing the letter. Yeah, I like Jolteon. It's probably my least favorite of the evolutions, but I still like it a lot. Also going to revise what I said. I like Flareon as my favorite fire type for first gen, but I never ever use it because I always get Vaporeon.
Favorite. Aww. Flareon A. Okay. We were talking earlier about how in Pokemon Yellow, the first fight determines your rival's evolution, right?
Some of the fights do. I don't remember. It's the first fight and then something else, I think, as well.
Oh, okay. Because I always got Flareon, and I think by the time I got to the Elite Four, I never had a water type. If I had a water, it was dual ice, which always... No, you know what it was? I always had the bird, Articuno, which was weak against fire. So, A for the Pokemon, C for the memories.
One sec. Sorry, I'm sneezing a lot today for some reason. I give Flareon an A+ because it looks so soft and fluffy, and I just want to hug it and pet it. It's so cute. And you know it'll be warm. Perfect cuddle buddy. Flareon, I like it a lot. I think it's very cute. It's not quite a Vaporeon, but it's very cute. Then we have Porygon, which is a stark contrast. I still give it a B. Just because it's kind of... To me, Porygon is kind of an iconic Pokemon. They don't really, market it much. But... to me, when I see a Porygon, it's like, that's Pokemon. That's, if I see Porygon colors, my first thought is Porygon. It's a very iconic Pokemon to me. I like Flareon if Ninetales wasn't a thing.
In Gen 1, the only way you could get the Porygon was in the gambling center, game center?
Yep.
How did anyone ever get enough coins? Just grinding? Being not bad at the gambling thingy that you had to do?
You could buy coins, so you would just have to grind money. Either using Payday, if you had blue version, because only Meowth learned Payday, and Meowth didn't exist in red version. Or, in fact, I don't think Meowth existed in yellow version either, because it was one of the Team Rocket Pokemon. Or fighting the Elite Four over and over to get money to buy the coins. Because playing the welcome back, Koma. Playing the slots was random chance. Yes, you could tell the slots when to stop, but it's just RNG because it would cause the slots to increase or decrease. So it didn't matter what you selected it on. It would pick a different slot sometimes.
It would pick a different... Oh, okay.
If you stopped it right on a cherry, and there was a Pikachu above and a Clefairy below, there's a chance that it would go with the Pikachu or the Clefairy anyway.
Oh. That's... Okay, I do feel better now, because I always was terrible at it, and I was like, I need to be better at this if I ever want to get the Porygon. Spoiler alert, I never did.
I got Porygon once because I just fought the Elite Four over and over to buy the coins. Which you can only buy 50 coins at a time.
Really?
Yeah, that took a long time of spamming A. Porygon is cheaper in red version, I believe. It's only 6,000 coins instead of 9,999. But by contrast, everything else in red version is much more expensive than blue, I think.
What? I'm doing all sorts of things today, okay.
Oh shoot, I'm using the wrong Pokemon. Oh well. But yeah, Porygon's a B for me, because he's iconic. But I definitely understand him not being very interesting. I'm good at the point where you clear the entire Elite Four. Oh yeah, I love doing that. in Crystal version, my Typhlosion, I taught it Thunder Punch, Earthquake, and a Flamethrower. And that combination, I could get through the entire Elite Four every time.
What? Thunder Punch, Earthquake, and what were the other two?
Flamethrower, and then the other one was just like Cut or something. I never used it. It was just those 3 moves. Thunder Punch was all you needed against Lance, because all of his Pokemon were either weak to electric or normal resistance.
Okay.
Flamethrower and Earthquake would get you through all the other Pokemon either by sheer power, because Earthquake is one of the strongest attacks, or by being super effective. I would need to use a... No, because I used PP ups to max out, because you need to use Thunder Punch against Lorelei as well, because most of her Pokemon were either part water or part flying. So I need max PP ups on Thunder Punch.
How did you get past Agatha? Just, like you said, by sheer power of Earthquake?
I don't think Agatha was in Crystal version.
Oh.
It was Lorelei, okay. Bruno,
Lance.
Lance was the champion, and there were 2 others. I don't remember them at all.
That memorable.
I fought them so many times. Hang on. Gen 2 Elite 4. What? Indigo. Gen 2. What? Oh, right. Okay, so Koga was one of the Elite Four members, because his daughter took over his gym and he became... Right, it wasn't Lorelei. Okay. So Gen 2, it was, Will was the psychic guy in the beginning. And most of his Pokemon were weak to electric. They were either weak to electric or fire, so you could use those. And then Koga was all poison types, so they were all weak to ground, except he had Crobat, which was weak to electric. Then Bruno was all fighting types, except he had an Onyx for some reason. So just Earthquake overpowered all of them. The only danger was his Machamp would sometimes get a Rock Slide off, but my Typhlosion could tank a Rock Slide. And then the last one, Karen. Karen was the Dark type one. And one of her Pokemon was part flying, so Thunder Punch. One of them was part grass, so Flamethrower. And the rest you could just overpower with Earthquake. She had a Gengar set, and oh yeah, Gengar and Houndoom were both weak to Earthquake as well. And then you had Lance, so you just Thunder Punch to death.
These are some straps, holy cow.
Houndoom in Gen 2. I love Houndoom. Yeah, Houndour and Houndoom came out in Gen 2. Oh, you're saying Houndoom and Houndour were Gen 2. Your Typhlosion, no, Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace did not exist in Gen 2, I don't think. My Typhlosion did not know it. He just knew Cut as his other move, I think. Ammonite. Praise Helix.
Pokemon, oh no!
What's up?
You need to heal your Pokemon.
Oh, they're fine.
2 of them. Oh, that's brutal. Omnite, I like the other one better, so I think I gave this a C or a B. B, yeah.
Inferior
Helix,
Fossil
but...
and Praise Helix. Yeah, I give them both a B because Praise Helix. Ammonite, Amistar. Look at those eyes.
Homer, are you too young for Twitch Plays Pokemon?
Always had an HM slave for traveling, switch it out when training. I would always try and make my Pokemon, my combat team, also be able to do all the HMs. That fell apart in Gen 4 when there were like 12 fucking HMs. It was ridiculous. Um, they went overboard with the. I just muted myself again. They went overboard with the HMs. Too young period. His eyes are worse. Um, I do like Kabuto. I like horseshoe crabs, and that's what he's kind of shaped like. Cut, flash, rock smash, strength. Yeah, so in Gen 4 it was cut, flash, rock smash, rock climb, um, strength, surf, whirlpool, dive, fly.
What?
God, I think there was one more. It was at least 9. It was ridiculous, and you had to have all of them. Yeah, diamond, gold, diamond, pearl, platinum. Too many friggin' HMs. It's like a bicycle helmet with eyes. It is kind of, but it's cute.
This is the superior fossil, B+.
I also gave it a B+. I like it. And then Kabutops is like a skinny Scyther. So I just gave him a B.
A. He looks more like mean and durable than Scyther. Like if Scyther is paper, then this one is rock.
Which is appropriate because he is rock type. Where's his arm meat? He doesn't need it. See, this Kabutops is like a Scyther that shed everything that wasn't absolutely necessary for survival to me, which should make him extremely fast, but a lot more fragile. He embodies like glass cannon in my mind, even though I don't think stats wise that's accurate at all. I think, yeah, his stats are pretty even and standard. High attack, high defense, but to me he looks like a glass cannon kind of thing. It'll only weigh him down, basically. And then Aerodactyl, the flying rock.
I put B. I'm gonna go with C. I think I put B originally because like the Pokemon card is really rare and it's really rare. I don't know.
Yeah, Aerodactyl. I want to like it, but every time I see it, it's just proportioned so cartoony. It's got such a round, chubby body, and its wings are too small for it. It's just too cartoony for me. Yeah, it's got a beer belly. Which doesn't really make sense for a flying type. And then Snorlax.
S. Did I say S? S. No, wait. Yes, I did. Okay, team S. I keep reading the wrong one. S tier.
Yeah, he's a C for me.
Oh.
He's just a big chubby bear. I think the problem for me with Snorlax is he was my brother's favorite Pokemon, and that automatically made me dislike it.
Okay, in all fairness, I've never heard someone say their favorite is Snorlax. Like, huh, okay.
You'd keep a Snorlax IRL where, and how would you feed it? Then we're finally onto the legendaries. We are almost to the end.
Alright, okay.
Articuno is an A+ for me, my favorite of the legendary birds. I like his proportions, I like that he's ice type, I like his tail. He's just a really well-designed bird.
I would say A+. I remember liking Articuno in the game, and then again Pokemon Go came out, And I remember my favorite thing about this was like Articuno was Team Mystics Bird, right? And I
Yeah.
remember, at least on Reddit or whatever, they would be like the bird in the north, King in the North from Game of Thrones.
Oh
And
God.
then I was like, well, but I was dying laughing because someone posted a map of Kanto, right? Gen 1? Kanto?
Oh yeah, and Articuno's in the south.
Yeah, they were like, this is where your bird is. And I was like, okay, this is my kind of humor. But all that aside, I do like Articuno. It's like really pretty. It's pretty strong. It's ice. Like, solid A+.
It has a Galarian form, but this is again from the DLC, so I don't.
It has like whoa.
Yeah, it's psychic flying, and it's apparently known as the cruel Pokemon. Galarian Articuno. I don't know.
What the heck is this? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. All the Galarian there's a Galarian version of each of the 3 legendary birds, and they're all like evil asshole versions. I don't really understand why.
Can I post a meme that came up when I googled it?
Yes. Yeah. God, I didn't realize its eyes were like that. Oh.
It's so like try hard.
Yeah. Oh God, its feathers on its head are like the villain slicked back gelled hair. Oh, it's terrible. It's so bad.
F+ for Galarian force.
Yeah. Jesus, they ruined it. Zapdos is next.
I see that you gave this one the lowest. I'm very upset.
Yeah, I gave it an A- because I don't like its spike wings very much. They don't look like wings to me. I will admit, the Galarian version looks more appropriate for its shape to me. It's like a land Pokemon.
Ugh, Galarian version also an F. I have to give Zapdos an S. Team Instinct represent. I think I liked the power plant where you got it from, Matt. I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah, you get
You
it
could
from the power plant. It's the earliest legendary you can find at like level 40, I think it is.
Oh, sorry. I was what I meant was like I don't know if you can like rewind on the VOD of this and have like find a clip of me being like, I hated the power plant.
Oh.
So in the span of like since we've been live, I've changed my mind about the power plant. Still, Zapdos S tier.
Then we go to Moltres, which it's an A. It's good. I like it. I like the Fire Bird. Pokemon continues to disappoint me with their attempts at a Phoenix. It doesn't look anything like I imagine a Phoenix looking, but I do still like its appearance. And then it's
Moltres looks like it looks like the least changed between original.
I was gonna say the Galarian one looks like a completely different Pokemon.
Am I looking at the wrong pictures? Okay, hold on. Oh, you know what it was? I was looking at Galarian Moltres and Galarian Zapdos, which I stupidly, because of the color, I thought the Galarian Zapdos was the original Moltres. Boy,
Oh.
I don't know if I should be tearing these with my lack of knowledge.
I don't hate the Galarian one, but I think it doesn't look like a Moltres. It looks like a fourth of the legendary birds, a dark type version, which it is dark flying. So, but yeah, Moltres gets an A for me.
I would say B, just because while I don't know if you saw the chat earlier, I did not get lost in Victory Road. I still didn't like it. And I think that's where you find Moltres, right? In that cave before the Elite Four.
Yeah.
So I was not a fan. B. Plus, again, fire is like kind of generic, and I also didn't like Team Valor during Pokemon Go, so B.
My team, of course.
I thought you were Mystic.
Nope, I was Team Valor.
Okay, meet again in a week for me to be like, were you Team Mystic? Because I will remember that you were not Team Instinct, but okay.
Way to throw away a special typing. Fire Flying wasn't special either. You already had Charizard in the same version. Dratini. I gave Dratini a B because he's cute. He's a cute little dragon worm.
I gave a B- because you had to catch him via fishing in the Safari Zone, is that right? And that was just like worse and worse.
You could
okay.
You could also buy him at the game corner.
What?
Which means you could get a Dratini all the way as early as Celadon City before the 4th gym leader.
Mind blown. Ugh. B-, because I didn't know that when I first played.
Their team that was clowned all the time, Instinct, was made fun of a lot.
And we're the mean team.
Always 2 teams in the 3rd playing, and what I hope was mud. They weren't made fun of that bad.
I remember it was like Mystic was like the most popular, Valor was like the most like powerful and like the most aggressive, because Red, I don't know, and then Instinct was like playing with glue in the bus.
The memes that I saw were all about like Team Mystic is the tryhards, the people who are taking the game way too seriously. Team Valor are the people who are way gung-ho, like they're just way too intense and yelling all the time. And then Team Instinct was we're just here to have fun, guys. We're just having fun. We're just having fun. So all the casual players.
I would agree with that.
Filthy casuals. Milotic, I do like Milotic. Dragonair, I believe I gave that an A. I think that it is a good upgrade to Dratini. I think it's a very elegant looking Pokemon. It has the same ear things as Wartortle, but to me it actually seems appropriate on Dragonair. So Dragonair gets an A.
I gave Dragonair a B because you're right, I do like it's like bigger, better, more elegant than Dratini. I feel like Dragonair evolves at level 55, right? So the grind was real. And I feel like I was staring at Dragonair forever.
Yeah, if you're going for a Dragonite, like, it's gonna be a while. And all that grinding and leveling up has the payoff of this derp. Barney the dinosaur. I gave Dragonair a C. He's just dopey looking. He looks like a little kid's cartoon dragon. And I get Pokemon was a kid's cartoon, but he looks like a little kid's cartoon. Like preschool kid's cartoon dragon.
Yeah, I put B apparently. I'll go with B-. I got tired of the grind and the payoff wasn't that great.
Up next is Mewtwo. I feel like perhaps I'm the unpopular opinion here.
Yeah, I agree with Rip. I give Mewtwo an A+ for the nostalgia factor. I like psychic types, and you know, at least according to the movie, he was like the most powerful ever. Blah blah blah. But mostly the nostalgia factor.
For me, I've just never really been a fan of his design. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it, but I just don't... I give him a C. I don't like his design very much.
Demonetized.
It's a tail.
Um,
I do kind of like. Well, no. I was gonna say I do kind of like Mega Mewtwo X, but the more I look at it, the less I like it, so I'm gonna stop looking at it.
Mega Mewtwo X, let me see.
Yeah, he's got X and Mega Mewtwo X, which makes him Psychic Fighting, and Mega Mewtwo Y, which is just continues to be Psychic.
Oh yeah, I just like both of those. Okay.
Just I don't know, just not into his design. And then Mew, the final Gen 1.
Last but not least, Gen 1. Oh my gosh. Fireworks, fireworks.
I give Mew a, what did I give? B+? Yeah, I give Mew a B+. It's cute, a little plain, and to me, pretty overhyped. The mythical Pokemon, the fact that 99% of them are not obtainable in the game except through special events makes me like them a lot less. The fact that you could only get Mew from special distribution events, I don't like that.
Okay, since we are here, and since we have you and Rip and just general more knowledge than I'm ever gonna be in the presence of again, all that crap with like the truck and missing no and all that crap, I'm assuming it didn't work, but if it didn't, like, where did it come from?
Just people making it up. Mew was never under the truck. It was something that you couldn't ever actually do because you could never get to the SSN area after the SSN left. So no one could ever prove that it didn't work. Because if you did find the way to get there, then clearly Mew was going to be there. You can't say that Mew isn't there because you didn't get there to find it.
Oh, jeez.
Missing No was a glitch in the game and did actually have practical applications. If you could use the Missing No glitch to duplicate items.
Okay.
You had to go to Viridian City, talk to the old man. This didn't work in yellow version because you couldn't. You had to play through the entire game without talking to the old man who shows you how to catch Pokemon in Viridian City. In yellow version, it forces you to talk to him, so you couldn't do it. After you talk to him, you fly to Cinnabar Island and surf up and down the right coast, and you will encounter a Missing No. And you either defeat him or run from that fight. Do not capture him. If you capture him, it messes up your game. But either defeat or run away, I can't remember which, and then I think it was the 6th item in your inventory gets duplicated to like 99 or something. It just like overflows the number.
Oh dang. Okay.
So you could duplicate rare candies, you could duplicate master balls, anything you wanted.
Okay. And then the third one I saw was something about like avoid the guy who talks about shorts and then go into Lavender Town and then it'll be blah blah blah. Probably another one that was just like made up, or like a really complicated one that got you to like replay the game and then it didn't work.
Yeah. So the first youngster that you fight is the one who says, "I like shorts, they're comfy and easy to wear."
Yes.
But there's like no connection between him and Lavender Town or anything like that. People like to make up stuff about Lavender Town because it was creepy, the Pokemon Tower and all that. I wouldn't call them Easter eggs, Rip. Missing No is definitely a glitch.
and the two others that I mentioned like are just fake.
Yeah, they just don't even exist in the game. There are some really cool glitches you can do in the game. I love watching the speedruns for this. My favorite that I've seen, they call it the Brock through walls trick. Because over here, there's a guy, and if you have not beaten Brock, when you walk past him, he stops you, says, "Hey, you should go check out the gym," and then he leads you back to the gym. When he does that, whenever your character is being auto-walked somewhere, the game stops counting character collision with things. There's a frame-perfect, I don't know if you like open the menu at just the right time or something. There's like a frame perfect trick where you retain control of your character while that guy goes off because he's supposed to be leading you back to the gym. And then you can literally just walk up through this mountain and walk all the way across Mount Moon without going inside. So it's the Brock through walls trick because you're using the guy who takes you to Brock to get past.
I need to look into this. Yeah.
There's so many cool, like, super mega bad glitches. Just the speed run for this game is like 10 minutes or something just because of the glitches. What about your Rifle Morning is Dead Pokemon in Lavender Town? There's no in-game evidence of anything like that, but there's certainly a lot of people who have headcanons about that. That's why he's in Pokemon Tower. The whole idea of you killed his Raticate and he's mourning it is not true because he uses his Raticate in one more battle after Lavender Town.
Oh, his Raticate? Where would people get that?
In Yellow version, if you fight him, he has a Raticate on his team all the way up to Lavender Town, and then in the fight in Lavender Town, he doesn't have the Raticate. So people all thought, oh, when you beat him, you killed his Raticate, and he's at Pokemon Tower mourning it. But then, like, in the next fight, he has the Raticate again, and after that, he never uses it again. So people had the theory that you killed his Raticate.
But he, like, realized Raticate is not, like, you graduate from moving. I don't know. Maybe he realized he couldn't couldn't close his mouth and he got tired of it.
Yeah.
Wait, did I give a rating from you? You said B+, right?
Yeah, I said B+.
Okay. Apparently I have A. I'm gonna demote to a B- because I don't see the appeal. And to your point, I never got any of the mythical Pokemon, you included, so B-.
Yeah, I would like legendaries and mythicals so much more if one, they were always actually available in the game, but two, if you could get them in time to use them. Like, you don't get Mewtwo till you've already done everything there is to do in this game. And at that point,
Mewtwo
why
is end game, yeah.
Yeah, why do I even care about having him? I have nothing else to do.
Are there legendaries that you also can't get? Because I thought the whole thing was legendaries you can only get one of, and it's a missable thing. Mythicals are the event, blah blah blah.
I don't think there are any legendaries that are event only, but there are the version specific legendaries.
Okay.
Like, you can't get Lunala in Sun, or you can't get Lunala in Sun, and you can't get Solgaleo in Moon unless you trade Pokemon.
Yes. Okay.
Mew and all other mythical Pokemon were always unattainable in their games, except through special distribution events.
Wait, we've been live for 3 hours, 43 minutes. Oh, and that was just Gen 1.
It took us almost 4 hours to go through Gen 1, and Gen 2, I think, has even more Pokemon than Gen 1.
This is going to be like a 20-part series.
Yeah, I think it's best to stick to one gen at a time. Good lord.
Okay.
No wonder Prosy D is just like, nope, this one's terrible, C. Nope, this one's terrible, D. It doesn't go into detail with all of them.
We could pick a gen where we try and speed run the rankings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's easy. Gen 5 for me. D, 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 F, A, D, 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 D.
Gen 5, let me see. Apparently I gave out a lot of Ds in Gen... all of them. Okay. we can look at that later.
Arceus is a mythical. He is not legendary. He is mythical.
On to Johto? No, I'm gonna pass out. Oh my gosh. You're looking at Arceus.
Yeah, because Minister was asking, isn't Arceus legendary? But I just pulled him up in Bulbapedia, and it refers to him as mythical. I disagree, since I mean, the status of mythical versus legendary is not an official Nintendo recognized thing. It's a fan made thing. So calling Arceus mythical, Bulbapedia probably classifies him as mythical because he's not available in the games, and that's one of the qualifiers for being a mythical Pokemon. I had a Victini. I was so mad. So when I got Gen 5, I did the GameStop event and got a Victini from it. And they give you like a level 1 Victini that you can play through the game with, and I was so excited. And then Gen 5 sucked, and I hated it.
Oh no.
I ended up resetting my Gen 5 because I didn't realize that Victini was mythical and not available in the game normally. So I was like, I just restarted my game. I was like, I'll lose the Victini. I don't care. I'm just going to try and play through this game differently because I sped leveled my Pokemon with the stupid Audino trick, and that turns out that your stats are terrible and you can't beat the Elite Four. So I reset it, and then I found out that I lost that Victini forever.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna jump off, get some food. Apparently ranking the Pokemon is very, makes you really hungry. That or I didn't eat lunch.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna end
TY for
stream
hosting.
too. Yeah, thanks for joining and rating the Pokemon.
Gen 2 next time. No idea when.
Yeah, we'll see.
But alrighty, bye bye.
Bye. Game Shark. I did have a Game Shark. I used a Game Shark on my Pokemon Red version and irreparably damaged it. So that was fun. That was really intelligent of me to do. Unfortunately. Did you really lose much? I mean, not really. I don't know. Victini's cute, and he was Fire type, so I like that. This was fun. Thanks for hanging out, Blaze. Thanks everyone for hanging out and chatting. But I am going to take a break now. I could play more Pokemon, but I think I'm a little exhausted from going through and rating them all. So I'm going to end it here. I will be streaming tomorrow. Probably just my normal time and probably some Factorio. Depends on how I feel, how big brain I feel. Till then, thanks for hanging out and have a good day.